laughing, we click. Follow me, let's wipe and roll. Follow me with Acer in control. Follow me, let's wipe and roll. Follow me with Acer in control. Follow me, it's the Acer Show. Follow me, it's the Acer Show. Follow me, it's the Acer Show. Follow me wherever we go. Follow me wherever we go. Fast, we cool, snap a dick, we groove, vibes, let those big friends laughing, we click. Follow me, follow me, go. Follow me, follow me, go. Acer Iconia. Follow me. Acer Iconia. Follow me. Acer.
Sleek, swift, Neo, power in hand, watch it go. AI smart, runs the show. Style and speed, you already know. Lightweight game, heavy on mic. Work off late, it's just right. Color that pop, style and glow. Swift Neo, oh, that's how we roll. Click, sleek, swift, Neo, power in hand, watch it go. AI smart, runs the show. Style and speed, you already know. Swift Neo, you feel me. Lightweight game, heavy on mic. Work out, play, it's just right. Color that pop, style and glow. Swift Neo, oh. Let it lead, let it grow. Turn and flip every tap and glow. Swift Neo, that's how we roll.
On the edge, vibes up, you feel me.
Swift Neo.
the all-new Acer Aspire Lite. With up to 13th Gen Intel Core i7 processor. Enjoy sharp visuals on a full HD display with a flexible 180-degree hinge. Lightweight at just 1.59 kilograms. Powerful, flexible, and ready to go. The Acer Aspire Lite with up to 13th Gen Intel Core i7 processor and a full HD display. Lightweight at just 1.59 kilograms. It's powerful, flexible, and ready to go.
Acer Iconia. Fast treat, cool moves, step a pick, we groove, web slit, post quick, friends laughing, we click. Follow me, let's wipe and roll. Follow me with Acer and control. Follow me, let's wipe and roll. Follow me with Acer and control. Follow me, it's the Acer show. Follow me, it's the Acer show. Follow me, it's the Acer show. Follow me wherever we go. Follow me wherever we go. Let those big friends laughing, we click. Follow me, follow me, go. Follow me, follow me, go. Acer Iconia. Follow me. Acer Iconia. Follow me. Acer Iconia.
Sleek, swift, nails, power in hand, watch it go. AI smart, runs the show. Style and speed, you already know. Lightweight game, heavy on mic. Work off late, it's just right. Color that pop, style and glow. Swift Neo, oh, that's how we roll. Click, sleek, swift, Neo, power in hand, watch it go. AI smart, runs the show. Style and speed, you already know.
Swift Neo, you feel me?
Lightweight game, heavy on mic. Work off late, it's just right. Color that pop, style and glow. Swift Neo, oh. Let it lead, let it grow.
Turn it with every tap and glow.
Swift Neo, that's how we roll.
On the edge, vibes up, you feel me? Swift Neo.
The all-new Acer Aspire Lite with up to 13th gen Intel Core i7 processor. Enjoy sharp visuals on a full HD display with a flexible 180-degree hinge. Lightweight at just 1.59 kilograms. Powerful, flexible, and ready to go. The Acer Aspire Lite with up to 13th gen Intel Core i7 processor and a full HD display. Lightweight at just 1.59 kilograms. It's powerful, flexible, and ready to go.
Acer Iconia. Fast tweet, cool moves, step a pick, we groove, web slit, post quick, friends laughing, we click. Follow me, let's wipe and roll. Follow me with Acer and control. Follow me, let's wipe and roll. Follow me with Acer and control. Follow me, it's the Acer show. Follow me, it's the Acer show. Follow me, it's the Acer show. Follow me wherever we go. Follow me wherever we go. Vibes let those big friends laughing we click. Follow me, follow me, go. Follow me, follow me, go. Acer Iconia. Follow me. Acer Iconia. Follow me. Acer Iconia.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for the Acer Predator League 2026 India Qualifiers. As we are now back once more, ladies and gentlemen, for the second set of the games that we have for this stream. And honestly speaking, after that first initial one, it was a little bit too, how do I put it? A little bit too underwhelming. A 13-1 loss coming in from the side of Heaven Esports. It was a message being sent by Last Hope that they were here to finish the games off as quickly as they possibly could, and it was very much apparent that they were doing it in style. But looking at the overall game format here, ladies and gentlemen, what kind of journey the teams had to go through as well. It's been a tough one with the open qualifiers being absolutely brutal in a single elimination bracket, and now with the playoffs having that double elimination. Yes, it's gonna make life a little bit more easier for some of these teams, but then again, you know that this is already the lower bracket, right? So you squandered one of your second chances, and this is your last.
Exactly, this is a must-win game, and that is why the emphasis and the importance of each and every map is going to be very, very important right here, right now. Aggressive. The playoffs are going to end by 10th of September. By the 10th of September, we would know that who is going to make it to the LAN qualifiers, which is going to take place. The location will be revealed soon, and to know where the location is going to be, you have to follow our social media handles, and you would know. But then the LAN part is going to happen during the time, but then at this point of time, the teams who are going to play. Let's have a look at the team schedule, the tournament schedule for today, and we have the lower bracket coming up. This is going to be Team Gun Galaxy going up against 4KOB. Gun Galaxy.
Oh, four kids and one pig. Oh god, I love the creativity.
The reference is there. I mean, four kids and baby. Okay, that's fine. I mean, I'm sure that the players, you know, who are there with the team right now are nowhere close to being babies, right? They are adults, and of course, they know what is at the plate right now. If they don't win this map, or if they don't win the game at overall, they are gonna lose out the opportunity to qualify for Acer Predator League 2026, the Pacific region, because that is where everybody is looking at right now. Aggressive.
Going to see how well they're going to be playing too. There are a couple of really big names on their side as well. As I do recall, when I'm looking at the charts for both of these teams, I remember a player called A-Star from a very long time ago, and also Casper as well being part of this roster was originally in AST, if I recall properly.
Mhm.
So they do have
Yeah.
some really good players on this particular roster, but then again, it's a ragtag group of friends playing together, and hey, they're part of the top
Mhm.
eight here for the APL. But you never really know, right? There's a bunch of different options that these teams have to go through to finally be one of the best of the best here. The journey's not been that simple, so I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt, right? While on the
Mm,
opposite side of the spectrum, we know who what Gangan Galaxy is like. Gangan
exactly.
Galaxy have incredible players on their roster. Of course, the coveted Knight Rider is on this team when he's on that chamber. It is insane to see how it
Mhm.
looks from their side. So, in my personal opinion, don't forget that I'm still a fan for Gangan Galaxy just because
Mhm.
I'm a numbers person. So statistically, they should be the ones to take this victory. But you
Exactly.
never really know what to expect here because these unknown quantities, especially Core Cup, being one of those teams that have some pretty big names on this particular team, could just be the ones to take it. But then again, that team play and synergy that we have seen already from Gang Gang Galaxy and that X factor that they do have, where they start off the game pretty slow, but as soon as the later stages of the game comes in, the team just gets to a point where they can really turn things around. They
Yeah.
should easily be the squad to take this win,
Mhm.
but maybe the other team have a pretty good shot as well.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, predictions. I mean, Gun Galaxy is one of the favorite teams coming into this game. We know that. Let's change things up. Let's do a score prediction for the time being. Okay, if you say Gun Galaxy is going to win this, you're saying that they're going to take both the maps, or are they going to drop one map?
They might just drop one map here because knowing
Okay.
them, they have a
Mhm.
tendency of really suffering for one particular game, but that's when they
Mhm.
really do come on back. 2-1 in the favor of Gang Galaxy is going to be my prediction here, but you can disagree with me on that.
Uh, I will, of course. I want this to end up in a 2-0 way, because the way Garden Galaxy has their players, I mean, if we see them on paper, they look the better team. Of course, because of the experience they have and the kind of quality players they have produced in the past as well. And knowing the fact that Gungan Galaxy and the players, uh, this is a team where when the situations are against them, they can still make their ways into the game. They have done it in the past. I am sure about the fact you pointed out the matches where the tournaments happening in and around Acer Predator League. They lost a few games, and quite a few important games, and quite a few important matches as well. But then they were against pretty quality sides, right? Now this is a team which we know that they're coming on the blocks, like as I said, a group of four friends trying to make their way for KOB. I haven't really heard about them, but then we want to give them the chance, and that is why Aggressive has been giving them for one map at least. But then the way the matchup is going to turn out too, will know about it. But then the map veto is going to be an interesting factor to watch out for as well. Aggressive, what kind of
Absolutely.
a composition do you think the teams are going to go come up with? Okay, we have it in our screens only.
And it's gonna be the same initial start, ladies and gentlemen, just like the previous one, with the members of Gang Gang Galaxy picking up Bind almost immediately. Bind not really being one of the best maps, I would say, that this particular team has. So I'm a bit worried on what they're gonna be doing with this one, but then again, never really count your chickens before they hatch just yet, because the members of 4 or even Gangan Galaxy could have a pretty good showing on either one of these maps. Bind, Lotus, and Corode being our map pickup for this particular BO3, but I don't really like it still at the end of the day. There's still so much more that you need to do to try and take a victory here, but I mean, it can be an easy start, but it all really is dependent on what Gangan Galaxy are really going to be able to do for this matchup.
Hmm.
Because Bind, yeah, it's one of those maps that they are strong on, but the struggles that Knight Rider has trying to play something like a Gecko here, it's pretty apparent because his role on the team is sometimes a bit too all over the place.
Hmm. I mean, he has been struggling as well, Knight Rider. Specifically on bigger maps, we have seen Breach is not something he's too comfortable with, right? Aggressive, and specifically on the map of Heaven. So yeah, on Lotus, will he opt for a Breach again? It's going to be interesting. This time, he has not opted for a Gecko. Uh, on Bind, Knight Rider has gone up with a more comfortable agent where he can flourish more, right? Aggressive. Chamber is more into his zone where he can play more aggressively. He can, anchor a site if he wants to. But then, knowing Knight Rider, he would want that operator online as soon as possible.
Let me just see where he's gonna go with this. Knight Rider being on that chamber does mean that they have much more extra firepower to really play for, but at the same time, it puts a lot of entry pressure onto the heads of Mighty. And honestly speaking, Mighty is one of those players that doesn't really feel the pressure now, does he? This is where he thrives, and this is where he survives. So we jump on down over into the game, ladies and gentlemen. The map of Bind for both of these teams are just about to start. Both squads are going to be up and ready to take these duels too, as Casper. It's been a long time since I've last seen him play on a particular game, but I'm excited to see what the members of 4 are really going to be capable of, because they are an unknown quantity with a couple of these up-and-coming players that we haven't seen in such a long time up against the greats here. A little bit of an interesting strategy as they're looking to push from the opposite end. Afuka here, Knight Rider, picks up the spike and almost makes an instant B9 run for it towards the opposite side of the map. They're kind of caught on a little bit of an island as their players are now rotating back here. As that was a pretty good start coming in from the members of 4 but one of their players took a significant amount of damage because of that risky play.
Oh, Mighty here wanting to make an entry. But then Scar towards A. I mean, he's playing from Shaz. He has made an entry. Has made the first point of contact. Knight Rider makes sure that the spike has been planted though. Numbers not in favor of 4KOB. They come in towards the side. A-Star gets the first pick. The Brimstone there. Barely survived, but then they get taken down. A-Star and Love. These guys managed, but then the player from the Shards go wrong. Being stuck there. Still with that right click. Benefits. You need to clear the Shard player first, but then Gorang holds the key. A-Star doesn't have HP, but it's A-Star! Still connects the shot onto Gorang. He gets connected, but he is on to 1 HP, and A-Star is the star of the round on 2 HP. Clutches it for his team. Gungan Galaxy, this could be their map pick, but then 4KOB, not here to joke for sure. A-Star and Love there. Played around really well, and specifically on those shots. Being on 2 HP, it is not at all easy when you're having an aim duel, when you don't have clue about the HP of the other person.
We really don't know how this is going to work out for them. So now, do you see that a little bit more of a forward-ended approach? The members of 4 already starting things off pretty well. But, again, it's all really dependent on what happens next for these fights. Members of Gangan Galaxy, as per usual, their aggression knows no bounds as Casper. Wait. Is it the same Casper? Wait, I thought this was a different player. Is it the streamer? Okay,
Um,
that changes
I, I,
everything.
I I mean, I know the female Casper.
Yeah, I think that is her. There was
Is it?
another player by
Because
the name of Casper as well.
yeah, we'll
Oh, that
confirm
changes
that.
everything now.
Yeah, it
This
is
is
she.
interesting.
It is she. So this actually changes a lot. You know, the complexion of the game can really change, and I certainly think that Gun Galaxy would not find it that easy. Casper gets the better of Scar over there. You know, this suddenly has changed things up, right? Aggressive. Now I think that this can be anybody's game. With the way the rounds are panning out right now, Spike has been planted though. Oh, wait, nobody was watching. They knew that there's someone towards Lamb. A-Star gets the pick onto Ginola, but the Spike has been defused. Goodness mean. Uh-oh.
These rounds are really coming on down to the wire as well, with so many of the weapons being invested here early on. Members of Gang Galaxy with absolutely nothing to their name really just put the spike plant down and got it down over to 1v1 as well. These smoke diffuses coming through from them have been a little bit too close for comfort for a couple of these rounds, but honestly speaking, Gang Galaxy, they can pat themselves on the back for this. Just say that, hey,
True.
we did go in for our buys, so now we should have a pretty significant edge because of the fact that they're being forced into going for full buys here
Spike.
instead of a full-scale eco. A-Star though, in towards the back, Euro clone could be utilized, but with the spike already being spotted, they can tell that it's not going to be that fast of a hit here. Slowing things down over to a crawl, it is going to be none other than the members of 4-Cop finding that first initial kill with the outlaw in hand. That puts Gang Galaxy at a very significant disadvantage.
This is the most important round for Gun Galaxy. This is the buy round. They need to ensure they're pretty solid with their comps right now. The Brimstone being taken out, the Sky Smoke not there. That's the safest smoke you can get inside this game. Viper being there, they're looking to go towards B. The B long is going to be a position where a lot of heat is going to take place. Z1 Rollins is on a roll, but then Scar stops him, shuts him down. Ginola gets max. They have the sights up for grabs. I mean, this is the third consecutive round where they have got the sights so easily, right? Now comes the most important part. This is the bonus.
Bad love?
Yeah, I think that is bad. That is bad luck. You know, I think the way I underestimated 4KOB, I just want to take my words back. And this is A-Star. I know this player. And he is not a player to joke with. You can already see with the confidence he is moving in, right? Aggressive. Yeah. See, you can already see it. Knight Rider goes out of the picture. Ginola has been spotted. Scar is still alive, but then Love doesn't have the HP to go with. Scar, he is going with 40 HP, but Scar this time, make no mistake, he takes it for his team. Gun and Galaxy gets the round up.
Very risky round at that as well. All of these rounds are really coming on down to the wire where they're losing out on so many of their weapons. Mind you, Gang the Galaxy, they did go in for a full-scale buy in this round, while the members of 4KOB, they couldn't really play for a bonus, but they did opt to go in for an eco instead. So they also didn't really have the strongest of weapons and still took it down over to a 1v1 situation. All these rounds are really just all over the place. So for now, A-Star already up for taking the fight, immediately just steps on back because he understood that there could be something waiting for the opposite side that he does not want to take a fight against. That Sixth Sense working wonders for him as Knight Rider now looking for this duel. He misses out on the opportunity, but still Casper, she takes a lot of damage in the process, needs to immediately run away from this. Don't really risk it just yet because Scar still on the opposite side, waiting to see how much he can get away with. Toxic Cloud now dissipating from either side of this. Two players on either end. It's gonna be Max who does find the double. Beautiful kills coming out from them as 4KOB. One by one, they keep on getting these kills. The positions are perfect coming out from them. And A-Star, he gets a double to his name. As now, Gang Galaxy, they're left shaking in their boots.
Max. Picks were so crucial, right? Aggressive and positioning of A-Star. I mean, 3-1. This game has just become serious. I mean, there's something with this team and the players. And looks like they have been practicing as well. The execution, so love that. Picks up Gorang, and why will you do that? Mighty gets picked off. Bad Love has always been that star fragger Scar. He moves around through his Viper wall. Gets one kick. Has crossed towards the lamps. His positioning is known. Casper is watching. Casper will get him covered. Last player, the last man standing here is going to be Knight Rider, and he will be taken up. Max was the third, first of this round, but then Bad Love with that operator. So good. We know what this man holds with that operator. He used to be a pretty crucial chamber player back in time. I actually misjudged the player names, and now this team looks to be much more stronger inside the game than the team who was looking stronger in paper, which is Gun Galaxy. 4KOB. Bad Love. Love the way he's changing up, but Knight Rider is better here. A-Star taken right out of the game. One duelist out. Casper. The positioning is going to be crucial. That orbital strike is something she would be looking at. Tour de Force, of course, a valuable weapon, a valuable ultimate for that. For the likes of the Gun Galaxy right now. She has the stim beacon. She has one more Sky Smoke left out. She will get the sound. The nade comes in. The paint shell's being used. The close corners will be cleared out. We'll smoke off the area once again. Now is the time for entry with that Viper area, but that horn reveals to the seas, catches her off. Now she can't freely spray up, but that Molotov and the Nightfall being utilized from 4KOB side. A lot of utilities being used. They do not have the side control. Lamp control isn't there as well. Casper is still fighting. Kinola gets the better. 4KOB still has the advantage. They haven't gone in to plant the spike because the showstopper is still there. That is going to be very, very interesting. They are going for a rotation. This man is standing there. It's Bad Love with that operator. They know that somebody is there, and Bad Love shuts Korang down. What a round for 4KOB. Aggressive, just making things so difficult. They're pinching them from every corner. The side control is in there. Neither they got a hold of Shahs, neither they could clear out Casper towards that lamp area. The backside wasn't there. They lost count in members. That haunt revealed everyone. Such a good place usage of that haunt, right? The value they have creating is such, amazing to watch.
They're so active in the way that they're utilizing those teleports as well. This is that big of a surprise because this generally does not happen. A bit risky. Straight into the face of Knight Rider. Poor old Knight Rider, none the wiser for it. Bad Love does fall, but Max is going to be able to find that trade almost instantly. That's two players now falling for the attack as Can Galaxy left to scratch their heads on figuring it out on what to do next. It's Casper now. Has the orbital strike ready. Her teammates already instant trying to go in for that fight. Positions revealed. They need to be careful on what they do next here. Shots to connect, and it's going to be Gorang who steps up to the table. 2v2 now, make it a 2v1. The players are now running in. Gorang's position fully revealed, but the spray just does not connect. And it is going to be Casper who takes the final kill. This is 4KOB, ladies and gentlemen, making it work up against the greats of Gang Galaxy. They're not the ones to fall apart, but they're making them pay pay dearly for every mistake that they make.
Wow, such proactiveness. I mean, he saw that Night Rider was alone. He just utilized the dimensional drift to his advantage and TP'd back. And along with that, it's not only A star on that Yoru, it's also bad love. The way he's rotating back and forth from A towards B, he's hopping somewhere towards B long somewhere. Sometimes he's towards that char area, sometimes he's above the boxes. They're just mixing things up. And Casper, I mean, she knows how to handle pressure, right? She has represented the country. We have seen her in a lot of tournaments, right? A lot of premium tier 1 tournaments aggressive. And that is why I
Yeah, in
was
the Game
also,
Changer
a
series.
little bit, exactly. And that is why I was also a little bit, uh, dicey about the fact that is this the same Casper? When you were also asking a similar kind of question, and I think that 4KOB also has a good chance of winning this series, right?
It's insanity at its finest. There is no situation where the members of 4KOB can go up against the greats like this, make them bleed over and over again for 5 rounds consecutively. They're turning things back for the better here too. For now though, members of Gang Gang Galaxy, they need to figure out a game plan here. Last couple of rounds have left the members of 4KOB in a bit of a situation where they can't play as aggressively anymore. Gang Gang Galaxy, they're kind of expecting it. And once more, they took a little bit of aggressive control towards the side of A Short, but with no one really trying to fight into them just yet. They're just now stopping things out. What's happening here on the server? As I do believe that there is a couple of problems happening, ladies and gentlemen, between the players. We're going to be trying to talk to them to see exactly what's going on wrong and whether or not a round rollback is going to be required. Apparently, there is an issue, so we are going to have a round rollback coming in from both of the teams as they have agreed to it. So we're just going to wait and see what's going to happen next. Because don't forget, A-Star did play a little bit aggressively towards the short side, and when he did not find any form of pressure coming in from the members of Gang Gang Galaxy, that was just an instant call to be like, wait a minute, I don't think they're playing this round out, and that's exactly when the call came through. But I digress, right? Even with a round rollback, it's not gonna be the end of the world, right? For either one of these teams, they haven't really showcased what they wanted to do in that particular round, and seemingly the members of Gang Gang Galaxy, they could be taking a much more slower-ended approach, possibly heading towards the B side as well. We're gonna need to wait and see what they want to do on next, but I really do believe that playing slow is not going to be as helpful to this team as you would have expected. I think they need a little bit more control towards the side of short, where they go in for a split execute, because they can split themselves out on 2 different sides and then try to go in for the fight there. Because you can see, because of how actively they're using the teleporters on the map of Bind, if you're able to cut off the teleporters, that cuts the options that the members of 4COB have to try and take a lot of these fights. They're active when it comes down to map control usage, and that map control usage really is dependent on that very fact that whether or not you're going to be able to take these teleporters and take those fights almost instinctively. You can tell whenever the fights were taking towards B long or even towards the outside of Fuka on B short, it already came down to whether or not teleporter control was established early on. And if they're not able to establish that control that easily, then it does mean that, hey, we as a team can now play the map in the way that we want, because we can isolate out each of these squads, one towards the left and one towards the right. Because but that Euro is like one of the biggest problems that they have to worry about, because the Euro can just take the teleporter and gate crash out back in towards the site at any moment that he wants. Having that freedom of choice on that one specific agent makes him one of the best agents on this map historically from the very beginning of Valorant when he came out.
till the time aggressive Turn Galaxy has to worry about Yoru, you people need not worry about anything because we have Predator Helios Neo 16 Slim AI. The Predator Helios Neo 16 Slim AI is the thinnest Predator we have ever built, crafted for gamers and creators who needs full scale performance in a sleek, ultra portable body. Don't let its size fool you. Inside is a powerhouse packed with high performance CPUs, powerful GPUs, and a thermal system that keeps you cool while staying mobile. I mean, along with all this, you also get a cashback of 5,000 Indian rupees and an instant bank discount offers up to 15,000 Indian rupees. So, just tap on the link in the description. Here you go. You have a high performance laptop coming your way.
Absolutely. Get the high end performance, and of course, make sure that your bank account is happy as well when you make such an investment.
Yeah.
But I digress. These kind of investments are a necessity if you're going to be playing like a Valorant professional as well. And if you want to keep up to date with all the tournaments that we have for you at the Esports Club, make sure to hit the like, hit the subscribe, and also hit that notification down below to do get notified when we do go live with all of the Valorant action. But then again, Valorant action is one thing, but the action that we have in this particular BO3 is another. As the game is taking a little while longer, ladies and gentlemen, to prepare, don't worry about that, because in a lot of ways, right, both of these teams, they should be evenly matched. Like the fact that
Yeah.
Volcom are having such an easy time on so many of these rounds just goes to
Mhm.
show that yeah, Ganget Galaxy, they're trying a little bit more of a different setup for their team that they generally do not. They're not playing based upon the comfort, especially with the double controller setup being taken. They're a bit too all over the place in the way that they're taking these fights. But you can tell on that first initial round and on the second that they had proper ideas brought into the map of Pine. But the fact that those ideas just didn't work in the way that they expected really put them in a position now where they're like, okay, what do we do next?
And also
honestly,
for a fact that
They have not yet figured
Rashid.
out that answer.
I mean, some things for sure that okay, will literally. I tried to. He's just holding. I was gonna say that they have not let Knight Rider flourish as well. Uh, they've
True.
also been able to, isolate those fights, specifically A-Star, right? With the kind of util usage he has been doing, constantly using his dimensional drift to TP out and get the information on the players or on the
That's
spike. And according to that information, they are just latching on. But it's not going to be good for Granola. They're just so proactive. They know what's going to be the next move from the likes of Gun and Galaxy. Oh, this time he missed out. He was still a little slow there. Gorang picks him up. The perfect spot. The sky smokes are there. The guy is on the box, but then Mighty was better. Casper being caught off as well. These guys are reacting. They're reacting pretty well. The reaction time is slow. In this round at least, the sneak bite comes in, but the spike has been planted. U1 Rollins has the Viper's Spit, but then can he use it to his advantage? Can commit. Gun Galaxy, they have the numbers advantage. You need to win a fight. Okay, D1 Rollins, he wins 2 times. He takes down Gorang as well. Scarred! Oh my goodness me, they messed up the round. Credits to D1 Rollins and Max. Numbers went in their favor, but they still manages to convert this round. Goodness me, Gun Galaxy. They should have win. I mean, do you feel that Gun Galaxy are just itching for those fights? There was a round where there was a situation. It was the 6th round, if I'm not wrong, where the player was from A shot. He was not supposed to fight, and the player was around the boxes, right? And the player from A shot should have been the last player to be the last point of contact, but he made contact first and he died. Then the player from in towards the boxes area, towards that A side, gets picked up with that haunt, and players being spammed over there. So it's just that Gun Galaxy needs to understand that after the spike has been planted, they just need to hold. They don't need to be patient. They have utilities to use. When the spike was planted, I saw that there was Viper's Spit was still available. That could have been used. I want to see that how Scar uses that Viper's Spit.
Already shots are connecting, but still Max not really able to get the second as Mighty flying through the sky. And once and for all, you can tell that Gang Galaxy, they're absolutely done with the last couple of rounds that they did lose on. But A-Star catching out a superstar level performance, slipping through the cracks here, one after the other. He does find so much value in this particular round. They're trying to make a beeline run for it towards the opposite side, expecting a rotation to come in from the last couple of players of Gang Galaxy. But Garong, he heard the sounds. He knows that the players are no longer here, and he can opt to go in for a little bit of a plant. Risky for this duel, but Bad Love still up and ready for it. He's waiting for the fight here, already being given a chance. And Bad Love, this is so smart from him, taking a push over towards the side of Elbow to make this one work. For now, they're taking things slow. Engagement's perfect. Here comes the satchels over from the sidelines. He knows what to expect. What's out the player? He's gonna be able to get that kill. Down over to 1v1 now, but Scar is in the optimum position. And I don't believe that A-Star has enough utility to try and make this one happen. He needs to hit the shot, but he can't really see a goddamn thing. And Scar inside of the Viper's pit just makes it work. 7-2 on the scorecard now, ladies and gentlemen. Finally, signs of life is being shown by Gang Galaxy.
Yeah. They need more of that aggressive. At least 4 to 5 rounds on the attacker's half. Just support when the push comes to shove. I mean, they would need those cushionings. If not 5, at least 4. To be honest, the best possible situation is going to be 7 to 5 swap, and that would be ideal. But 4 KOB, they just would want to keep the good work going on. They cannot leak too much rounds, but this time Love is just waiting with an operator. He shuts Mighty down on that showstopper, is now out of the game. He has that orbital strike, and that is why Lamps has been left alone. Nobody's playing close. Is he going to use it for the post plant? It's going to be interesting. The Nightfall being committed. Players' movements are going to be interesting. Love, as long as he's there, you need not worry. Knight Rider comes with the cleanup. Casper again gets the trade. The trade game has been so good. The Sky Smoke comes in, but Gorang. For a second, I thought that he managed to give in some kind of damage, but then there was no damage given whatsoever. Ginola is there, but then they don't have many utilities to use other than the orbital strike. You need to find value somewhere. There you go, one more Sky Smoke being committed, and Love shuts down Gorang, and Max shuts Ginola as well. It's not, I mean, the way they are holding on to those sides, specifically the Horn placement needs to be so good, and the Prowler placement needs to be so good that they spot Love first. Otherwise, just blindly rushing in with the showstopper isn't going to work, right? At this level. If there would have been a Sova, we would have said that use at least Owl Drone, or if you would have had a flashing agent, you could have used the flash. But they don't have that. Gun Galaxy. It has to be the Fade with those Prowlers or that Horn who needs to understand the value of the player. Otherwise, I think it's going to be something where Love is going to constantly push it.
Hello? What?
He's not even checking the market area. Gets picked off. Mighty here. But Love, he's waiting. Prowler comes in. Yeah, this is what is expected. But then positioning. Okay, Rollins.
Oh my lord, he's caught.
But Gorang fries him. And also gets Rollins. Numbers are equalized. They have recovered a weapon. This can be valuable. Let's see if they can convert and pull up this round. Aggressive.
Good,
Wow,
perfectly placed on Molly, and wait a minute, Casper having that 6th sense. She's gonna be able to find an instant catch over on the Mighty. The fact that these gods can bleed is what's the biggest surprise for it all. They're gonna wait for the smokes to just fade. They had nothing to worry about. Take your time here, both sides. Players already spotted Casper now. It's up to her to try and go in for this clutch. Position is good. Gorong trying to maybe go in for the hit, but up against Casper, there is nothing that he can do. Timing is key for it all. As for Cobb, ladies and gentlemen, they take the 9th on the board. And Casper gets a very strong clutch to start things off here for the last round of this half.
I mean, he was going to use the incendiary, right? Aggressive. But you don't peek like that, like this, right? Gun Galaxy They do all the kinds of hard work, but then always tend to mess it up towards the end and not able to pull it back. They're not able to, clutch it in those 1v1s or those 2v3 situations, and even they are losing on a round where they have the numbers advantage as well. It's 9-2. If we ask for KOB, they would want to take 10-2, but then Gun Galaxy are in a spot of bother. Knight Rider, he has the Tour de Force, they have the Nightfall. Any other ultimates they can use, they would want to use it right now. Orbital Strike and the Viper Spit now being committed towards a shot. Orbital Strike is still intact. Casper, where would she want to use it? She can use it for a retake. Daystar, he has the operator now. This is something, will they expect aggressive? This is my point.
Not really, it seems. I don't really have that answer just yet. They're risky in the way that these fights are being taken. D1 Rollins can't really hear a goddamn thing that's happening around him. Still does get the kill. The ultimate does come through, but Mighty's going to be able to jump over the top rope. Still survive. 4th there's 5, but up against Casper, there's nothing that you can do to try to hold on to this. The shots just keep on connecting. There's one after the other. Orcob, they're still up to try and take this victory. Max in the perfect and the most optimal of positions. They don't have the clearance for him. A free double kill to just hold on to the line. And the fact that A-Star came in for the bait. Orcob, they are just these winners. Mind you, this is the map pickup coming in from the members of Gang Galaxy, and they're struggling so much here. What's gonna happen when it's the map of Lotus?
And the way they are not even checking those preemptive angles, right? These should be premeditated. I mean, I understand that you just got a kill on the side and you do not expect someone, but then it's at least something you would want to do. There's a good chance that you haven't... I mean, to be fair, did they spot the fade is the question. They did not, right? The information should be very, very accurate. Otherwise, these are some kind of mistakes which a team like Gun Galaxy is obviously missing on, and 4KOB won't be leaving you.
It's already gonna be Bad Love starting things off. Mind you, ladies and gentlemen, Love is actually Bad Love, so I'm just gonna go back to the default names that I have from all those years ago. Another one, Garong's already spotted, stuck it towards the back. Knight Rider comes in with the perfect flank timing to get another one. Seems as though the members of 4KOB a little bit stuck here, being isolated from multiple different sight lines. As now Scar needs to be the one to take the fight. He does get the catch over on the one, and now Casper and Bad Love, they need to be the ones to try and equalize things out. Players going in for the double and possibly even a triple swing here. Sticking from inside of the smoke. Knight Rider is going to be good for another one. Casper, none the wiser. She can't really do much to try and bring this one back. Very well played out this round coming in from the members of Gang Galaxy. Started things off in a rough shape, but fact is they opted to go in for a spike plant here when they should have tried to go in for a push towards the side of defender spawn and maybe rotate towards the B side instead. They didn't really have a lot of space to play for, and the Brimstone didn't use a single smoke to try and stop them from going for a rush.
Yeah. That's for sure. This is something Gun Galaxy have understood, and I mean a good round coming in for them, but they still have to climb the mountain. Knight Rider, this is where he flourishes, and he was not allowed in the attacker's half with that operator, or maybe with that Tote de Force. Wasn't allowed to play freely. They won Rollins. Tries to find value with that Sheriff. Finds no one, but Knight Rider, he does find A-Star towards Hookah. So this isolation has not worked yet, but Love, he finds again Nola. He has walked towards the boxes. Finally, the Sky Smoke comes in. Bad Love still survives. He's still alive. Oh no! He sneaks in and gets Knight Rider. Oh, Gorong, there is a blind spot. Gorong gets Max. He has the incendiary. Mighty with that charge is playing close towards Lamps. What will they do is the question. Problem is, Love has got the third one. He is creating so much value. Now they can rotate towards B and nobody is watching towards that side. Still using this. Oh no, Mighty is playing inside that sky smoke. The area has not been cleared. Love, he has sneaked in. This might be timing with Mighty. Brad Love is there. He has a showstopper. He uses it. No, that is an ace for him. And the round being converted. Was it an ace? It was an ace.
That was an
right?
ace.
Aggressive. Yeah, that was an ace. The animation didn't pop off, but that player did manage to pop off. What a way to convert an eco round for 4 KOB.
That is insanity. The fact that Bad Love on an eco round, on an eco goddamn round where he just had a classic to his name, got an ace to turn this one back. Dear God, it's like I'm back in 2022 all over again, where Bad Love was dominating the server as a new and up-and-coming player. Man's aged like fine wine, it seems, and one by one, all of these young talents on the side of Gang Galaxy are bleeding onto the floor. Their players are falling, and I don't see a turn where they're going to be able to make this one happen. A little bit risky here, trying to take an isolated duel. Ganola's position, it's going to be revealed. Max is going to be wise to clear out those spots, leaving absolutely nothing to chance for old Knight Rider's not going to be able to get out of this one for free. Didn't want to use the Headhunter bullets for that particular instance. Instantly jumps away. Really taking any big chunks of damage here, but even then Knight Rider doesn't really have the weapon to take such an aggressive duel. Scar's going to be able to find out the one at the bare minimum. Just perfect for them. Equalization to the slightest of degrees. Mighty's going to be able to find that second, but Bad Love immediately finds the double. Still alive and kicking over towards the top of the hut here. Just waiting for the fight. He's got the last already. A triple kill to the name of the Rays. And now, once more, 4 away from the showstopper. Up and ready to take the flag for this victory. The members of 4 Cop, they are really turning up the heat here.
I mean, for KOB, specifically Bad Love on that raise has created so much value aggressive. I mean, not only with his placements, right, but the way he has been repositioning with that operator, and also now on the attacker's half, the way he is expecting the players and reading them like a book is what I think Gungan Galaxy has not expected. Finally, Knight Rider finds value. The only control, I mean, not the only controller, one controller out of the picture. They still have the Viper. Viper wall comes in, which will allow, but then Knight Rider gets one more. This time Bad Love being punished, but Max, he sneaked through the smoke, and Knight Rider was punished over there. The trade came in, but then the numbers advantage still in favor of 4K Gungan Galaxy. But wait. Mighty, his position is expected, but even Rollins couldn't win the aim duel. Comes in now, but then his position is expected. The showstopper being used, but then A-Star and Max. Max is a lone player surviving, of course. There's nothing much he can do. Wanting to play it slow, Mighty has the operator. He so literally uses TP and goes towards B. Scar, he might find him. Yeah, exactly. Scar will finish the job. Max gets eliminated. Scoreline will save 12-4. They just survive. Gungan Galaxy just survives aggressive.
They're barely able to make it through. In this situation, they're playing it well. Gungan Galaxy now really in those positions where you can tell that they're sweating bullets out here. They need to be careful on what they do next, but they do have that saving grace that this is another eco round coming in for the members of 4 Cobb, but then these eco rounds have proven to be just as dangerous as those buy rounds, haven't it, with Bad Love getting a possible ace here with a showstopper coming online at the very last second. Lineups prepped and ready, it seems. All their players just rushing through the defensive lines. They should be able to get the plant out as well. It's all about the timing and the way that they hold on to this. Spams come through from the side of Garang. The player is not able to find the hit that they would have wanted, but still they're holding on to these lines for as long as they possibly can. The plant comes in at the bare minimum, so already this is a very successful eco round coming out from them. Smoke placements perfect from the side of Casper. They're able to hold, get into positions. Max is going to be able to find the first initial opener. That's Ganola already being shut down, and this has gone from bad to worse here. Casper, though, now isolated in a pretty bad position with the smoke now fading soon enough, but still alive and kicking on the players right behind them. Wait a minute, this eco round somehow being turned on its head. The last player now spotted will be none other than Knight Rider in the corner, but he still gets the double tap. Give it up for Knight Rider because he is back. Yeah, Skankan Galaxy. Good God, this round was a bit too close for comfort mirror being an eco.
Barely surviving, but then it wasn't the worst round for 4KOB. They got the plant, they got 4 kills, almost won the game. And for the viewers who are just joining, this is the lower bracket matchup going on between 4KOB and Gun Galaxy. This is the Acer Predator League 2026 India Qualifiers going on right now, where 4KOB are just dominating on Gun Galaxy's map pick. They are yet to finish the job, but Rivalries Rollins is back with the operator. Okay, he did not expect Mighty's positioning. Now he has to take a fallback. And it gets a little bit of chip damage with that. Main shell over there, but this dimensional drift will change things up. The Knight. Oh no, he did not expect. He should have expected. I mean, oh, what a mistake. He will be pissed with that. Aggressive, that shouldn't have been the case. We should be expecting someone, you know, rotating from the CT lines. Now, Love walk towards E-boxes, but then the spike won't go down so easily. They have the Viper Spit Gun Galaxy, but Gorang shuts down. The orbital strike now being used. Gorang is just making things happen. Casper, he wants to. She has the orbital strike, but her position is known. Ganola, but then Knight Rider doesn't leave it for Ganola. She takes responsibility and takes her down. 1 by 1. The rounds are being pulled back by Gun Galaxy. They still survive, and the economical damage is massive, of course. And they again go on an eco for KOB. What are they thinking right now? They only have the orbital strike. Aggressive. This is something which is just, you know, keeping Gun Galaxy inside the game. It's going to be very important. Knight Rider was expecting Rivalries Rollins and takes him down pretty easily. Finds the value.
This entire storyline is taking a turn for the worse now, isn't it? It's Mighty now in a bit of a tough spot. Didn't really find the shot that he wanted. Needs to try and make a run for it here. Close quarters for the fight. It's going to be Bad Love who gets one kill. Showstopper in hand to try and shut down Knight Rider. He couldn't really find the kill that he would have wanted. Actually, he kills himself in the process.
Yeah.
The Showstopper finds no value, but at least he denied the kill to his opponents, right? That's
True.
the best thing. You don't give them any prisoners. You're not going to tell them the secrets of your team. You're just going to die with those secrets. But A-Star, being the last player, I don't think he has that luxury of just sending himself into the afterlife.
Wow, okay.
He tried to fake clone it, but Garang was having none of it. He's like, nah, that doesn't feel right.
He did sell it
Why
to
did he
Knight Rider
fake
though.
clone?
He did manage to sell it to Knight Rider though. Okay. But on all fun and games, they've converted 7 rounds. When does that panic kick in? Does it kick in right now, or should we wait for another two rounds to go by?
I think 2 rounds after, that's where the panic will really start to settle in and the desperation will start to show. These last couple of rounds really has just come down to them going to the A side a little bit too much and not really establishing any form of shower control. Because they don't have shower control, they're forcing Casper into a pretty rough spot, but Mighty, okay, I do not know what he was trying to do there.
No.
They are gonna fall, and somehow the statue like actually gets a kill on towards Max. Wait a moment, this could have gone from back to a little bit of an awkward situation. Rollins, I have no idea what you were doing there. You already heard him out. Okay, Ganola's gonna be able to shut down another, and somehow straight through the boxes, Knight Rider gets a collateral. What was this round? Gang Galaxy, they should have lost here, but for Cobb,
Okay.
their team is just dropping the ball like crazy here.
This is not expected. I mean, you and Rollins, what are you thinking? That was a pretty casual approach. No way that should have happened. I mean, they have taken a pause. A timeout is required, of course, because the way the round panned out, it should have been 13-7 right there. Knight Rider shouldn't have survived. He survived. He not only survived, he got 3 picks. And that too with a collateral on that last one towards the green boxes, right? Aggressive. I mean, whenever Knight Rider plays or he finds his elements, I always go back to those God Particle days with Shivi, Scar God being there. You know, they were a nightmare to global esports, right? Aggressive, if you remember those days.
This is just quite the questionable feat now, isn't it? So surprised in the way that this is working out for them. Scanning Galaxy really are a squad that have been at its turning point here. They've been getting round after round and almost in everywhere that they do go, but even then, they have a steep road to climb, and any mistake that they make will be put on center stage. That's gonna be the first kill already. Mighty able to find that opener. Knight Rider finds another, and one by one, the players just keep on falling onto the floor. The weapons not really in the best of shape here for the members, of 4 but even then, they've caused a lot of significant damage. A possible comeback being mounted now for Kangan Galaxy as Mighty single-handedly takes his own approach to go in for these multi-frags. The Outlaw being as dangerous as it normally is. Whenever you get into a situation like this, Mighty again shuts down the next player. A-Star's positioning completely known, and these smokes being placed out by Casper is just not going to be helping anymore. The opponents, they know how to counteract it now. They know that they just need to play inside the smokes and stop them from being overly aggressive or try to play for those close proximity fights. As for now, 12-9 on the scorecards, ladies and gentlemen. Gangan Galaxy, they're inching closer and closer to this full-scale victory.
At this point of time, Casper has her ultimate ready, right? Even the Viper Spit is can be activated. Dimensional Drift is not that far away as what the Nightfall is also, but then they still need those 3 orbital points. Bad love. What is he thinking? And some discussions are going on, of course. The timer is paused for now. They need to understand the fact there's a technical timeout going on behalf of Gangan Galaxy. They have started believing in them. From a swap of 10-2, they have managed to bring this back to a scoreline of 12-9. And now they have certainly started believing that they can take this to an overtime and win this game on bind. Because initially, this is their map pick, right? Aggressive. They should have been the one to dominate, but then things did not turn in their favor. A lot of isolated fights being there on towards that attacker's half when we started things off. And 4KOB were looking pretty proactive. And now, when the pressure is on them, suddenly D1 Rollins is walking towards Shower without any weaponry when he had certainly been given the information that there is a player, and that is Knight Rider with that big gun. This is something, 4KOB should understand, that they have a good chance of beating this team, and not only beating this team, also winning this game and also moving forward towards the next stage. And this is a lower bracket game, so these guys cannot be casual at all. If they lose out, they are out of the tournament.
They know the stakes of this entire situation. They know that It's either you go big, you could easily be the ones to be sent back home. The map of Bind really has been looking that clean for them. And already the first one to fall is going to be none other than Mighty. Was so close to getting himself another showstopper as well. This has just gone from bad to worse if they're not careful. The 2-4 is still in the hands of Knight Rider if he wants to invest into it here. Dependent on the timing and of course the opening kill, the members of 4-Cop, they're playing this one a lot more slower.
Oh, A-Star! He finds value. He finds value! But A-Star gets the third one as well. They have the sight now. They have the orbital strike. They have the dimensional drift and also the Viper spit. This can be it. Looks like a task. But dimensional drift is there. Knight Rider's position is compromised for the time being. The question is, okay, he has spawned his teammates. Orbital strike being used. He has to fall back. Varang. He has that one guy smoke left. He finds a little bad love over there. But the player towards long. Okay, Gorang gets the second one. And these guys are inside the site. Fight is going to be important, but they don't have the time. They need to go for the defusal. Casper is holding and they make sure the round is in their favor. They have got it in them to win the best of the 4KOB. Takes the first map home aggressive.
Oh god, the way that these games have been going, it's really coming on down to the wire now, isn't it? All of these rounds and all of these plays that they are gonna go for, it's just down to the wire. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the way that the game of Valorant is meant to be played. This is how false comebacks can happen, but at the same time, it gives your team that urgency and, of course, that second win that they need to make themselves even better and stronger for map number 2. Gangan Galaxy, they did bow out for a loss in this particular map, but Valorant being one of those notorious games, especially in our particular region, where you are really bad on your own map pick, but for some reason on your opponents, you become Thanos himself, snapping your fingers and taking half the rounds for yourself before you could even blink. Possible 12-0 scoreline coming in for the members of Gangan Galaxy. You never really know for map number 2, but after such a stellar performance from the members of 4-Cop, you can tell that they're playing very smart. They're taking their time for the engagements. Plus, in addition, because they have the Euro player on their side, A-Star, honestly speaking, has completely changed his playstyle. Because if I remember properly, A-Star originally was a solo player, and now the fact that he's able to play the Euro in such a clean fashion, it's a pleasant surprise because he's not only setting himself up for victory because he has that initiator playstyle within him because of the past roles that he did play. You can see that he's instantly shifting and pivoting from being a duelist and an initiator in a matter of seconds.
Yeah, I mean, his dimensional drift was more of to give information to his team. And also when he required to get a kill, he did that too. And on to aggressive. I mean, the way things panned out for 4KOB, it's just amazing to see all these players functioning like a unit.
Absolutely, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to see exactly what the statistics are going to be looking like for the teams later on out. But before that, we still do have a teaser for you, ladies and gentlemen, for the APL. Sit back, relax, and see exactly what kind of action Acer Predator League has in store for you soon enough. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen. After watching the teaser, you can tell that the stakes are really high to get to that Asia Pacific Predator League stage. Because don't forget, whichever one of these teams get over towards that grand finals, only 2 teams can get there. And out of those 2 teams, only one can secure that slot for the main stage event, which will be happening next year. The dates are not yet set, of course. We're going to be updating all of you on that regards on our social media. Again, check out the links down below in the description, because for the Acer Predator League, you know for a fact that Acer never will hold back on what they're going to do for the players and also for the audience. So make sure to set your dates and set your time as well for the grand finals that we also have for you. Mind you, the grand finals that we will have will be for LAN, which will be on the 11th October. Again, all of the ticket details and everything will be given throughout at the very end. If I do recall properly, on the 10th is when we're going to be hearing about 10th of September. We're going to be hearing about all the details for that venue and of course where the event is going to be happening. Again, make sure to check out the links down in the description. Keep yourself updated on the social media. And also, if you're not caring about the social media, make sure to at least hit the subscribe and also hit that notification bell down below to do get notified when we do go live for that for the semifinal stage, of course, because that's when we're really going to be finding out how the grand final is going to be working out for that particular date. But I digress. Make sure to check out the links as well down below for all of the laptop deals for you as well, because if you want to be an absolute beast and breeze through your competition with a bold new loop for the battlefield, make sure to check out the Nitro Light 16. The Acer Nitro Light 16 drops with a clean white finish and the firepower to back it up as well. Powered up by the 13th gen core processors and up to an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4050 graphics. This machine doesn't keep up, it all takes over. With a 16-inch IPS display, pushes 165 Hz for ultra smooth frames, with a dual fan, dual intake, dual exhaust thermal system that keeps things cool when the action really does heat up. If you want to get yourself a good budget system that knows how you're going to be working, plus how you're going to be playing the game of Valorant, make sure to check out all the links down below in the description, because of course Acer Predator, they have you covered for all of that. But I digress. Ladies and gentlemen, the statistics will be in front of our screen soon enough to talk about exactly what happened in game number 1, because the build-up to this particular game at the very start, we thought that 4COP, they were going to take a landslide victory for themselves. But Gangan Galaxy proved to us again that they are a team that starts off slow, but as soon as they get the ball rolling in their court, it's very difficult to try and stop them unless they start to make a lot of big mistakes.
Yep, exactly. Let's have a look at the scoreboard of the last game, where things were in favor of 4KOB, where Gungun Galaxy did manage to pull things back on their defenders half, though, after a 10-2 swap. Knight Rider really finding his elements there on that chamber, but then it was everything which came down pretty slow on the defenders half. A lot of rounds were given to 4KOB, and that is something he also understands and he would also notice. But then this man, Bad Love, he was so good. He literally was present everywhere. In all of those moments, specifically the round where he got that ace with that eco going in, right? After the swap happened, and he converted the 11th for the likes of 4KOB. Plants, helps his team get the plant there, then uses the showstopper to his advantage to convert that final kill and got that ace. He got killed in the process though, but the player was there who survived and got the plant, and I think the things turned in their favor. But then the way Bad Love played, I'm expecting him to be the most valuable player, but let's see who was the most valuable player or is the most valuable player in the last map, and it is Bad Love. And he was he was part of Revenant X Park at some point of time, but then currently, being that experienced campaigner, he just showcased why he can be trusted, right? Aggressive.
Absolutely. Bad Love being on the server like this again, it's just a blast of the past, right? It makes me think of a simpler time in the game of Valorant where Chamber wasn't a thing. You didn't have to worry about the Fade Haunt. The one thing that you did have to worry about is a showstopper that could absolutely decimate you within a matter of seconds. I still remember that Bad Love being on that race back in the day, right? Where The satchels would make you fly across the map at Mach speeds. You just couldn't do anything about it. It's still kind of the same, but even then, it's just not as powerful as it used to be. When I think about it, right, a lot of people say that Valorant back before wasn't as ability centric, but I can imagine the game being a lot more ability centric back then if people just knew how
Hmm.
to use utility properly, because they people just didn't really have that kind of a performance at that time, right? Because the utility was just not as easy to get a hold of. And in such scenarios like that, especially when when a player like Bad Love back then was already performing so well, even with
Mm,
the overpowered utility that we did have, what would he have done back then if this was the form that he was able to take back in time? Because yeah,
mm.
he had an MVP level performance, getting a 326 ACS. This could have easily gone up even higher if it was that old race where you could just like do whatever the hell you want, be at full speed, have an incredible boombot that was even better than an owl drone in some cases. Because don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, back in 2022, that boombot had a lot more range. Now the boombot only travels a very short little distance and it instantly gets destroyed. Back before, you
Hmm.
could clear out the entirety of Fuka by sending a boombot from market, and if the players from the enemy team didn't destroy it, you would have lost
Hmm.
Fuka control in a matter of seconds.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that is something for there that is there for sure. But on Bind, knowing the fact that there are so many options of rotations, right, through TPs, through market, and of course, such back and forth action going on towards the attacker's half. Sometimes it feels like attacking can be. A place where teams can convert rounds. Sometimes people are into that shell that no, we can't win rounds on the attacker's half. But if it is planned out pretty well using those TPs, and if you have a double controller setup, a lot of things can be done. And just how 4KOB did. I mean, we did not manage to see them on a lot of defenders half round, but still they also lost a lot of rounds where they were attacking. But then they managed to pull more rounds than the other team, so that is something which definitely paid off in their favor. This is something moving ahead they would have to keep in their mind, where this is now an attacker's favored map, where Lotus is going to be a bigger side. I would expect Knight Rider to go back again onto that chamber because he was so good, and he literally popped off though. I mean, the impact he made with that operator later in the defender's half is what Knight Rider is made of. I mean, that is something what their fans want to see, and also we want to see from Knight Rider as well.
Yeah, we kind of need to wait and see, ladies and gentlemen. The map of Lotus will be in front of your screen soon, and we are apparently not going to be taking a break here. We're going to be jumping almost immediately into the second game, so don't really worry about that. But we're gonna need to wait until the teams are prepared a little bit for that one, because I'm excited to say that yeah, Gangan Galaxy, they didn't really have the best of showings for that first initial map, but that's kind of where the ideology lies, right? I told you this as well, that Gangan Galaxy have a chance of taking a 2-1 victory for themselves for this particular BO3 series, because they're a team that starts off slow, but once they do get the ball rolling, they're able to
Yeah.
carry it forward with full force, and they don't really give this up for free. They do make mistakes, but those mistakes take a bit of time to fix. But once they do fix it, they try not to make it again. It's kind of what the team ideology is like, but the way that 4Cop have been playing, they've been really good at adapting to any situation that's given to them, and having consistent level of utility being fed into these star players known as A-Star, and of course Bad Love by Max, and of course Casper, who's finding so much value, almost infinite value, I would say, in a couple of these rounds. It's just insane to me that this is the team that is really bringing down Gangan Galaxy when they're the ones that had a top 3 finish before in the other tournaments that we had for the GC.
Yeah. Regardless, if you people want a smarter tech and sleeker design, we have Swift Light 14 AI for you guys. Meet your ultra light, ultra fast AI sidekick. Fire up the dedicated Copilot key and let built-in intelligence handle the heavy lifting. With a 1.1 kg metal body, a vibrant OLED WUXGA display, and a super slim 15.9 profile, this PC is built to think fast, look sharp, and move even faster. But then we have to move on towards the map video once again, and let's have a look that what's coming next. We of course know that it's going to be Lotus, but then if somehow these guys manages to pull things back on Lotus, we will move on to Corode, where I think I have definitely seen Gun Galaxy play on Corode, and they are pretty good, pretty good on it, and they have won in the past. But if I am 4KOB, I would want to shut things up right here, right now, because Lotus is my pick.
Yeah. But then again, it's just about the concept of Valorant VO3s right in South Asia, where you lose out on your own map pick and then immediately you win out on your opponents. The age-old game plan. It's always the case now, isn't it? But Gangan Galaxy, I really am interested in what they're going to do for this particular map here. Will Knight Rider go back on the chamber? Will he be forced onto the breach? We don't really know what to expect. Will he play that supportive role well enough is a real question, because he's not been given that opportunity to perform on that chamber. And the fact that he's being shut down in almost every single turn, it's rough to say, but Knight Rider, he's actually picking up that breach once again. I don't really like the way that they're doing this. While on the opposite side of the spectrum, you can see that Bad Love going back onto the Viper. Now this is gonna be the question that we haven't yet seen, ladies and gentlemen, as you jump on down over into the game almost immediately. This is where the fun begins, because the members of 4 now they're the ones being aggressive, going knee deep into enemy territory here. But it seems as though it's going to be the opposite side for this. Instead, it's going to be Gangan Galaxy starting things off with a shebang, not really allowing the members of 4 to even breathe in the positions that they are holding. They understand that 4 as a team, they're on the attack side. So they're going to take a little bit of time to really heat things up. But Bad Love in a good spot. He's going in for the multi-frags. He wanted more, but he's just not going to be able to get it. The Sheriff, it's a slow firing weapon, so he couldn't really risk taking that other shot to be that easy. T1 Rollins in for the fight. He's good for the 1 kill, but Scar immediately comes in for the fast trade and a pre-fire. 1-0 as 4 they had no idea what just hit them.
They managed to pull things up, 4KOB. They got those 3 picks. Credits to Bad Love with that positioning. If he would have connected that shot onto the third guy, it would have been a nail biter. This could have been a round which 4KOB could have pulled in. But then, nothing taken away from Gun Galaxy. They were on the move. They were pretty proactive in this round. They wanted to push through B. They made those initial movements, and it paid off for them. So Knight Rider, he has not opted for that chamber. He is on that breach, of course, which we know that he isn't, comfortable with aggressive. Interesting to see is he got that covered, because if he hasn't, this is going to be a pretty struggling part for the team, because we know how breach is going to be an important part for those neon movements to come in smoothly. Almighty, he finds love through the dark cover. That is pretty unlucky.
And now, down to a 4v5 situation, the members of 4 already. They're not looking to be in the most cleanest of spots, losing out on one of your key controllers this early on. They need to find a kill, but they're just not able to. Not enough utility to try and gain them some information. This is going to be a tough one for them, because they do have a Viper who gives them those openers, but the thing is, they get opening space, but not the kills just yet. Why soon to be coming out for them, so it's not really the end of the world, but even then, it's risky. Ace stuck. Tries to jump on forward. Casper is going to be good for 1 kill. Now looking for more. Is going to be able to find her second. Wait a minute, Casper. Maybe turning this one back around. Doesn't really get the other weapon that she would have wanted. Doesn't want to give away information that he's playing towards this corner of the map. Needs to find the perfect timing to go in for the kill, but Ganora spots her out and immediately brings her back down. 2-0. It's Gangan Galaxy. They've taken the victory once again, but this round was a little bit more expensive.
Yep. They lost too many. But then, of course, they had the weaponries to deal with. But, this is going to be the interesting part. This is something where we are going to see Gun Galaxy on a bonus buy and the other team with the full buys. So, here comes the interesting part. This looks like a full rush. Mighty is gonna make his move. The relay bolt comes in with the fast lane. He's already inside. He missed his shot, but he recovers well onto A-Star, who was stunned, but then Max and Casper strikes hard. They get the trade and also the number. Wait, Knight Rider has the answer. Through the doors. He connects that outlaw shot and brings back the number in control. It's a 3v3. Both the teams, right from the word go, have been pretty inseparable. You know, the amount of action we have always seen on the rounds, right? It has never been pretty easy for any of these teams to convert or get the match victory as well.
Where do they want to go with this now? Scar. In the back lines here over towards B main. I don't think they're going to be expecting this. Shots already taken. A Scar's position yet to reveal, but they need to worry about the player that's waiting for them on the top side of this. This is such a good call. The mid-run adaptation is perfect. They're going towards the C side instead. C1 Rollins just waiting. Patient than ever. They need to get closer and closer for this fight. The steel power already being utilized. Bad Love not really able to find that kill. Perfect movement coming in from the side of Scar. As it's all up to D1 Roll. His position is revealed. They know exactly where he is. He's a peek into two players, but the spray just does not connect over towards the second. Knight Rider instead takes him out, down on 1 HP. Wait a minute. Knight Rider, he's thanking his lucky stars for that body block, because he was on death's door. This round could have been very much winnable for the members of 4COB, but remember what I said? Your opponent's map pick, that's where the team really starts to turn things back. It seems as though reality could just be on the cards here. As the members of Gangan Galaxy, they do take a 3-0 for themselves, and you can see how comfortable they look on this particular map. That's exactly what you want to see for them to mount a comeback.
That is there for sure. And at this point of time, Knight Rider, he saved the day, because if that he would have been killed over there, it would have been a pretty close 1v1 between those two. But then Knight Rider, he gets the connection on A-Star. The connection has been there. The trade game has been pretty off. You need to figure out some way to get the trade game going in. Rollins through smoke gets Gorang. The Omen is out of the picture. The only controller is out. But then Mighty, will they expect his position is what? No, he won't be expected. Max. He runs back in. Mighty. There's a guy. Casper. Oh, I mean. She walked up though, but then with that outlaw, this man is unstoppable. Rollins is on a roll though. He will get that Phantom, but his position is expected, of course. They know that he's going to plan towards the site, and they have the Steel Garden. On the contrary, Rollins has the Nightfall activated. He can also use that. The question is, they should come together. They're coming from Waters. He has isolated the fight. Rollins, he has some kind of a problem to swap his knife and flex it up, but this time he can also flex that he has clutched it. I mean, aggressive. That key should be removed from his keyboard. The scroll button should also be removed, because that man is always, after one kill or even after he isn't not getting any kill, he's still always on that knife. Why is he doing that?
Oh god, he just loves to give us a fear factor. I don't know if he just wanted to be like, hey, I'm gonna run on away, and that's where Ganola wanted for that free fire. He didn't really have any bullets left in his gun to try and keep the fight going. This is a tough spot for them to be, and his A-Star in a good position, but already Mighty, he does find the opener. A-Star is going to be able to find out one more though. Immediate, these shots do keep on connecting for them. As 4COB now, they've taken the advantage away. Seemingly, I have jinxed the members of Gangan Galaxy here, but Knight Rider still up and kicking. Rolling Thunder utilized. Scar takes another one. Positions reveal, and the players just falling one after the other. Knight Rider on this breach. It seems as though he's on his support day, ladies and gentlemen. Because good god, yeah, his chamber wasn't that perfect. But him on this breach, that is where this game is at.
I mean, the Acer should have fairly waited, right? Aggressive. The Paranoia came in pretty late. His movements, I think the communication was off in that round. His positioning with the Paranoia coming in was pretty slow. If he was supposed to play that angle, the Paranoia should have been used earlier, or he should have waited, whichever comes first. But then the round is lost. The numbers game has always been in favor of Gun Galaxy right from the start of this map. Lotus, they have looked better in control, specifically Mighty. Continuously trying to get those early picks. Now, this is something that's going to be very is expected though. Good part is that Max is still surviving. This time he won't. There's no support. The Paranoia comes in again. There's a peek there from the player. Oh no, why is this happening? Utility usage and the timing of the players peeking is not matching at all, because of which they are not able to convert those duels, right? Aggressive.
It's just the team feels disconnected. I don't know what really happened to them. Maybe it is the map, but the comfort that they were showcasing on Vine just doesn't really exist here. They're taking their own isolated 1v1s. And Gan Galaxy, they're playing much more together as a team. Every single fight that they're taking is purely built off of one another. The shots just keep connecting in their favor in almost every single turn. Player already spotted, and now corralled down over into a corner, 5-1. As it seems as though the stuff that happened in map number 1 is repeating itself, but on the opposite side, with Gan Galaxy being in favor.
True. Galaxy look much more in control. I mean, 4KOB looked the team who were the better on attackers half when they were on their bind, of course. But where things matter, where you need to be good on on your attackers half, which is of course a map where it is three-sided. It's favoring the attacking team. They have not been able to control those rounds. Okay, Mighty now, he slides in, then comes back. They need to commit pretty carefully. Bad Love, he needs to step up. He was really amazing on that race, but then he has the Viper Spit now, and along with that, A-Star also has a showstopper. Question is, where are they wanting to commit? It looks like they again want to contest C, but then the way Gorang and Mighty has been controlling this side, and also sometimes the Vice has been interesting, and also they have been changing things up. And it's not that Mighty has always been playing C. He has also rotated towards A and B. Mostly these positionings are going to come handy. Look at Mighty's positioning. Will that be expected is the point. Okay, the Hunt comes in. His position is revealed. The showstopper will be committed. The Paranoia goes there towards water. The A-Star being taken out. There's still one guy towards waterfall. Gorang is still surviving. Gorang gets the third one. He shouldn't be allowed. This is something pretty concerning.
He gets out?
To his advantage. Exactly. But Casper finds Scar. Bad Love uses the spade. But now the Nightfall. But then Casper was better for Gorang. She gets the second one out of Knight Rider. Can she find the third one? Is the question. She's expecting Casper. Goodness me, she is on a roll. Her aim and her game is through the roof at this point of time because her team needed her. And I think she stepped up big time aggressive.
And if you want a performance like this, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to be the best of the best on the server, make sure to check out the links down below in the description, because if you get yourself a Predator Helios Neo 16 AI, you can also get a free gaming monitor on this particular purchase. And hey, if you're looking for a couple of extra goodies as well, Acer Sling back free on every Swift Series purchase on the sidelines, plus cashback of up to 5,000 INR and instant bank discount offers of up to 15,000 INR on the different products that we do have down below. Make sure to check out the laptops in the description below, because these offers will not be lasting for long up until the Acer Predator League, of course, for the India Qualifiers. If you want to get it, make sure it happens quick, because Scar now, what just happened? A star! You used his head like a trampoline and jumped over on top of it. And somehow, I don't think that A-Star was even ready for it. A very comical of a round start. But for a 4-cop, they just lost out on 2 of their key members that quickly.
Look at Casper's positioning. But Scar is expecting. But she will be. Oh my god, what a reflect shot from Casper! Wow. There is a 2v3 in up for hands, but then Gorang, his position towards tree is not going to be expected. Bad luck. No, will they use no? D1 Rollins is without his gun. He's always without his gun. This isn't the first time, and bad luck is taken out. I mean, this time, not blame him though, but then if you want to blame him, you can, right? Aggressive.
Hey, the knife is really pretty. Okay.
Hey, look.
You gotta make sure you have a really good OLED display. Exactly. You gotta make sure that you have a really good OLED monitor display, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to see that champion snipe in its highest quality. So make sure to check out the Swift Neo on the because it has that OLED display that you guys are all going to be looking for. In addition to that OLED display, it's going to be built for performance with lightweight, sleek, and a premium design powered by the Intel Core Ultra processor. And of course, as we are going to be talking about that, it seems as though the members of 4-Cob, they're going to be on the back end of the server here with Mighty being the attacker, it seems. He just made a beeline sprint for it all the way from the opposite side. The spike does go down for them. So at the bare minimum, things have taken a turn for the better, but how much is better being better here is the real question. Casper, once again, the hero of the story, able to find a little bit more value over from the sideline. The steel cage already being utilized to try and give them a tiny bit more space here, but Casper stuck on an island, nothing more that she can do to try and turn this one back as the members of Can Galaxy just swarm them from every single sideline. 7-2 as 4-Cob, they just need 2 more rounds to just make this half a little bit successful because their team just does not look like the squad that they were on the map of Vine.
Yeah. And I can't even say that, 7-5 would be an ideal swap for Team 4KOB. This is an attacking favored map. With that being said, they have a double controller setup. They have the showstopper with them. They have that Nightfall. They have that steel garden. Pardon. But then they need rounds, right? They cannot afford a 10-2 swap. They need at least 3 more rounds so that the momentum is in their favor. They somehow need to work now. Knight Rider, he has the operator, and when he has that game going on, it's not going to be easy. D1 Rollin comes in with a surprise there, but then Ginola was ready. Manages to take him down. Casper, she's in. Her position being expected by Scar. Arc Rose being destroyed. Pretty close towards Waterfall. Scar this time takes her down. Makes no mistake. This C side is denied for sure. This is not going to be an inside. The revolving door is there. Bad Love gets one though, but then he has to take on a lot more. Yeah, Scar comes in for the clean sweep. Only one member lost in the last round, which was the Omen. They won the round pretty comfortably. I mean, with the fact that they're able to predict the pushes which are coming, and I feel that, whenever they're pushing in towards that seaside also aggressive, they're not even committing fully, right? It's always A-Stars going solo in, and they're waiting. It looks like they're wanting to hold, but then I don't understand the plan that if you're wanting your Raze main to go in and make those entries, he needs that support. He needs those body commitments from his Omen or from his the Fade or the Vice at least. Vice is actually lurking, or maybe the Omen using her TP. Something that they have missed out for sure. Scar gets to pick on Rollins over here. Then this is an eco round. Already Scar has converted to. It's gonna be more. They're just making things difficult for 4KOB right now. Aggressive.
Yeah, it's just not gonna be looking that good for them. as their players just falling like dominoes one after the next. The weapons not really in their favor. Last one's already there and spotted. Scan Galaxy. Now the smiles are on their faces. You can tell that Garang is just looking extra happy about this one, because they know that they can take this victory. And for them, this is the squad that we wanted to see. This is the team that has really turned around everything that they could for this particular squad. And every single player from Gangan Galaxy has really stepped onto the table. None of them are really the dead weight of the team anymore. Previously, you could tell that they were struggling, but here, Knight Rider leading the charge like this, he's not happy about the performance that he had on his chamber, because this time around, he's pulling all the stops to make sure his team gets this victory.
Yeah, that is for sure. This is something Steel would understand, but then Nightfall being committed right now. The Steel Garden used. They don't have the weaponries. Okay, the Prowler. But then all the utilities being dumped and they're not going in towards their side. The rotation is there. And they have gone in towards B. And they're wanting to plant the spike over here. Okay, this is going to be interesting. Casper find Mighty. That was a big fake being sold out.
She gets out.
Yeah. Ice wall being used though. Entry is of course denied. The Rolling Thunder being used. Nobody's playing close quarters. Smart of them. They've taken that heaven control, which is good. They're stuck with the fault line. A-Star fires. But then they need to be pretty smart with the usage. A-Star finds Ginola with the showstopper. The paint shell being used. Now the situation is not going to be easy for Knight Rider. He also gets taken out, and Casper takes down Garang. 9-3. It's something for KOB managed to pull things out.
These rounds are getting closer and closer by each and every second. But the fact that they do have a 9-3 scoreline to work with just gives them the slight bit of breathing room to really play for. Casper actually is going to be the one who's leading the charge for all of this. At the very top with 11 kills to her name. Bit of a surprise that Max is just not having a phenomenal performance that he did on that previous matchup. And it really has to do with the fact that Max doesn't really play the Vice, I am guessing, because D1 Rollins probably doesn't have that much experience on it either. So this is a bit questionable because they have not really gone in for the most comfortable agents for their players, and some of them are suffering because of it.
True. Very true. Now comes the most important part. On Galaxy, they need to close things out. They can't. Oh, they don't start well. Casper finds Scar. Now they're going in towards C, where they are expected. Manola finds Bad Love over there. Bad Love has not been the best though. They're pushing in deeper. Okay. A-Star is there, but the Paranoia will be used now. Frenzy there with Gorang is something which will allow him to use those run and gun movements though. Number still with Gun Galaxy. Casper will find Gorang alive there. No. The timing is off, pretty off. Ganola finds Max. It's only Casper now with 21 HP left. She's for position is expected, and the 10th round being converted. They got the opening, but then they were going in towards C, and the execution was there, to be honest. And I think Bad Love, the way he played on Bind and the way he is playing in this map, I think there is a hell and there difference. So that is something which has also, of course, not helped, for KOB. He was the MVP in the last game. Do you think that the Viper is something which he's not comfortable with? I feel that way.
Yeah, this has been a bit of a question mark in my opinion. I don't think it's that the Viper is being very uncomfortable for him. It's just the way that he's trying to make it work for his team is just very uncomfortable with the team. And he's having such a good game here previously on that first map. The fact that his performance has dropped a little bit here is purely on the basis that, hey, he's trying to support his team a little bit more in comparison to just fracking out of his mind on his own degree. But A-Star He actually survives all the utility barrage being thrown towards him. The Bucky's not going to be able to find much here. It deals a slight bit of damage over onto a couple of these players, but Mighty in a position where he can cause a mighty amount of damage here. It's their players already spotted out towards the different corners. They have been killed in. Mighty revealed now, but they can't really fight into him. Now can they? One by one, they just keep on falling. Their players are just running into the slaughterhouse at this point. Roland's gonna be able to find one kill. He does find two, but it's just not gonna be enough. As the Gangan Galaxy, they take the 11th on the board, and they're 2 away from taking a silver on top.
You know, both the teams have played pretty opposite on their map picks, right? Team 4KOB on Bind, and now on Lotus Team Gun on Galaxy. They haven't been able to pick their own map, and the other team has managed to play well, pretty well. I mean, the way Gun Galaxy has played this map has just surprised 4KOB. They weren't prepared. This time it looks like a B hit, and nobody is watching B whatsoever. The Vice Wall would be there though, but then this is something before the Vice Wall would come in. They have already taken control. The paranoia is there, but Max catches him up, but the Kinola comes in. Mind you, this is the bonus buy round, and they are in towards CT fighting with these players. So finds Kinola. Love. This time makes no mistake. Towards Waterfall is Knight Rider, who gets the 2 important picks, and he has the spike, and Gorang is also present there. These 2 players have been selling those fakes so well aggressive, and those movements have been working as well. And now A-Star along. Oh wait.
No! Why did you push in from the smoke?
He
What?
swapped his pistol. Oh, goodness me. He swapped his pistol and kills Knight Rider over there. Wow. I mean, that was A-Star actually, not Knight Rider. Just sums up the game for you, aggressive. It has been that kind of a Lotus for them.
I mean, did I say it or did I not say it? I did call it, didn't I? As soon as we go into that second map, this is exactly what's gonna happen. 12-3 on the scorecards, ladies and gentlemen. The first game was quite a fast one, but we did see a possible comeback being mounted by the members of Gangan Galaxy. The team really starts to heat up as soon as the rounds start ticking away. But for the members of they've yet to really find any form of an instance where they can turn this one around. For now, though, you can tell that Gangan Galaxy are looking to be a team that have just slowed things down over to a crawl because they want to figure out exactly where Fort Cobb is and maybe fish out one overly aggressive player who wants to try to make a play to save his team from utter defeat.
Yeah.
But this level of discipline is maybe a double-edged sword because now with the Seaside Execute coming in Mighty, he still has all the utility in the entire world to find an opening kill. That's Max now fallen, and that's the second player that was trying to help out your Seaside player also down on the floor. They need to go into a retake here in a 3v5, and still ample amounts of utility are in the hands of the attackers.
Exactly. This is something these guys needs to understand. And I mean, this game is done for. Looks like this round. Oh wait, there's something left out. Gorang still survives along with Mighty. Numbers game falling for 4KOB. A-Star tries to bring something back. It's a 1v2 against him. This position is revealed, and Scar finds the last 2 and pulls things back right in their favor. We are moving towards Corode as expected, and as you rightly called, aggressive. What a way! I mean, Gun Galaxy has replied with a perfect note on Lotus that if we couldn't pick things on Bind, I think we can make things difficult for you on Lotus, which is what they did, and with a better scoreline. I mean, 13-3, and that was 13-9. You know, the difference is clearly there that they could not find their way out on this map. They were pretty clueless, and the Asian compositions was, of course, that was not bad, but then the players who were utilizing those, agents couldn't make the best out of it.
Absolutely. It goes back to that good old saying, right? For South Asia Valorant, you lose out on your own map, but you are gonna win out on your opponents on a landslide. Because generally, what happens is when your opponents pick up on a map, they tend to think that, oh, we don't need to practice this map as much because hey, we're going to be really good
Hmm.
on it. But then your opponents
Yeah,
just turn up the heat
true.
in more ways than one, where you are just not able to find any form of value. Now, going on to Corode though instead, ladies and gentlemen, now this is going to be a slight bit more different because Corode is a map that really facilitates a team for their creativity. Whether or not we're going to see a
Mm,
lot of creativity come on through from the members of 4 Club or will Gangat Galaxy and their consistent performance really be able to carry them forward, that's what we're going to need to know soon because another big point of contention has to be how Knight Rider is going to be playing. Because we've seen as well in the other tournament that we did cast for this team that Gangan Galaxy, when Knight Rider is having good performance, especially when he's on that chamber, that's when this team is absolutely unstoppable. But all of it
yeah.
just really does rely on whether or not he can hit his shots. You can tell in this game, he was a phenomenal player. He didn't miss a single bullet that he shot out of his weapon. But will that performance carry forward, or is he now completely out of steam and no longer in that flow state? Because Corode is going to be the do or die for either one of these teams. Because remember, this is lower bracket, and after this, they don't have any more second chances.
Mm. That's for sure. I mean, this is something, which every time we say when we are moving ahead towards a decider, that it's going to be a best of one series, and that too on a lower bracket where it's a must-win game for both the teams. Whoever loses this, it's hard to swallow that a team like 4KOB as well. We wanted to see them more. It's unfortunate that they both these teams have found themselves on a lower bracket situation, and only one will move ahead because you would want both of these teams to play more, and you would want them to play a team like Rat Syndicate or a team SATUL. These kind of matches is something which we wait for. Such good Valorant action we are witnessing today. Nothing taking away from the first game though, but then those kind of matches are kind of a dead rubber where you just cannot dissect anything when the other team is not able to pull things up. When you see 26 rounds and only see the other team, a team like Heaven Esports winning only 2 rounds. Last day also we saw they were pretty struggling, but a matchup like this where every round and every moment looks like a team can make a comeback or something can happen is what we want. Let's move ahead towards the scoreboard aggressive and have a look what happened there.
Yeah, I think the storyline is just going to be a game of Knight Rider go kill because every single player from the side of Gangan Galaxy just really performed to their highest caliber. Not a single shot missed by either one of them as they just kept on going in for these frags. Nothing's gonna stop them here, and it seems as though Casper was the only one that had that consistent performance, keeping that 1 KD while everyone else really just did struggle. Max in particular just took a pretty heavy backseat for this particular map where before he was having a phenomenal performance, getting clutch after clutch for his team and impact frags when it was a requirement, but here he just couldn't really do much whatsoever.
Yeah, absolutely. Casper, I mean, she was exceptional. She was the only one, I mean, was in her elements, and I think she should continue her performance in the next map. But then the most valuable player of the last map, who is he or she, is what we are going to find out. It is going to be Knight Rider. The man is back, and he is back with a swinging breach, and the old man. I mean, not Knight Rider, the breach, of course. He had the operator on that agent as well, and he was just able to find so much value. And this time, he make no mistake, he was giving the appropriate support. We have criticized him a lot that he has not been the best breach player in the country, though. But he made sure he does so much that his team, finds an easier way out on winning this map at least. Right, aggressive.
Absolutely. He's been able to be that performance superstar that he is known to be. And these kind of inconsistent performances from Knight Rider is kind of a trademark that he had even back in the day. Sometimes he's just going to hit every single operator shot, and at other moments, He's not going to be able to hit the white side of the board. But that's the duality of Knight Rider, ladies and gentlemen. And that is the duality of a lot of these star players. You never really know what to expect coming out from them. But that doesn't mean that they're bad. Their consistent performances is where it is always at. But do you know what else is consistent? It's going to be the incredible goddamn events coming in from the side of Acer. And of course, the Acer Predator League 2026 is going to be nothing much more different and possibly even better than before. If you want to see exactly what Acer has in store for you guys, check out this teaser as we go on down over it for a very short little break. it seems as though my microphone was not working initially here, ladies and gentlemen. Extremely sorry about that. But welcome on back to the Acer Predator League 2026 India Qualifiers, ladies and gentlemen, as we are now back jumping in towards the action for the one last and final time. Map number 3 is where it is at, ladies and gentlemen, for the game of Valorant. Has now turned into a glorified best of one. This BFE3 series had a lot of ups and downs. That first initial map going in the favor of none other than the members of for none other than the members of Four
Gun
Cop,
Galaxy.
and with the second game going into the flavor of Gan Gan Galaxy. No, the first initial one was Four Cops, second one was Gan
Four
Gan
Cops,
Galaxy,
yes.
and now the third
Correct.
one of Corode could be going in either direction, possibly in overtime as well, ladies and gentlemen. The late night overtime
Yeah.
is what we're all hoping for, because honestly, I'm losing my own voice. My mind is absolutely all over the place, but I want to see exactly how this storyline is going to end, and which one of these two teams will be able to make it and cross that finish line for this lower bracket, to see exactly who will be the ones to move forward and who will be the ones to get sent back out of this tournament. It's a sad story to see one of these teams go out, but honestly, someone has to be the losers of this story, and it could be
Yeah,
either one.
exactly. And that too on the map of Corode, where we have seen Gun and Galaxy do well. Interestingly, Knight Rider would again go back on that chamber, right? And he does well on that chamber. And for a fact that today he is already feeling it is something more concerning for Four Cops. You know, you gave a prediction at the beginning of the game that 2-1 in
One.
favor of Gun and Galaxy. Yep, exactly. So for sure, at first we did manage to, I think second guess the players, because we found out their identity. I think for at least one player, that which was Casper, we thought that it was a he, not a she, and it turned out to be a much more experienced player than the one we expected. And also with A Star and Bad Love being there, things really changed on Bind over there. So now, where it's a best of one series, how is the other team going to look at it, who has just lost their own map pick, which is Lotus? So interestingly, Corode is something which is obviously new on the block, something
True.
which not everybody has not seen much. And also, I don't know for a fact that they have faced Garden Galaxy on Corode. So this is going to be interesting to watch out. Maybe on Pugs, but then if they have also played, I think maybe one or two, if I'm not wrong. So that game time isn't there, and not when you don't have the expectations, or when you don't have the read of what these guys are gonna do. Sometimes it's in favor of you. And Four Cops in such situations can be a pretty menacing team to deal with.
Absolutely. Four Cobb as a team are just not really gonna be in their own limelight now, are they? But is this gonna be over for them? Not really, because there's gonna be a lot of buts in this that these teams have to really put an explanation on, because the agent selection, ladies and gentlemen, for the map of Corode will be another big answer to whether or not these two teams are really going to be able to turn this one back and maybe catch each other off guard. And it seems as though Gan Gan Galaxy, they are going to be going in for a much more of a different setup this time around, with Scar picking up. Oh, sorry, no, they're going to be going in for the exact same setup that they did go for in their previous tournament, with Scar opting for the deadlock, and of course Knight Rider being on that chamber, Mighty on the almighty Neon, of course, just to run themselves across the server in the speed of light. As it seems as though for Cobb, they're going in for a bit more of a different strategy. Double controller setup coming in from their side, and this is a very similar composition to what the members of Essex will run for this particular one.
I mean, they managed to beat Rat Syndicate on that other tournament you're talking about, right? Aggressive. We both were on this in that situation as well. But I mean, 4KOB is a much more balanced side, to be honest. If they're hitting their shots, if their players are not comfortable on their agents, and if they're not hitting their shots, if they're not winning the aim duels, I think they can be a pretty average team to look at. How they looked on Lotus. They were looking a pretty different team on what we saw on Pine. That is something they need to figure it out. Specifically, Bad Love on that Viper, once again I'm concerned about, because he was not looking the Bad Love we saw on Bind on that race. He was so freely moving, and he got that freedom of playing that player, who's just given the role to find pay kills, and he was just managing to do it so easily because he was given the freedom. When he's given the role to control, not saying that he is not the best player on a controller, but when a player is not feeling that he is containing himself, or he isn't able to move the way he was on a duelist, is something where the concern kicks in, which we had
Yeah.
a problem with Knight Rider as well. The way he used to position him, the repositionings were so crucial. As an individual player, if your brain isn't functioning the way it should, because you need a different mindset to play initiator, if you need a different mindset to play a duelist, every agent has their own role, and you have to pace up yourself if you are playing a controller, because you cannot be the first point of contact though. But I mean, knowing Bad Love, he is experienced, would learn from his mistakes, and they would have had a discussion that let's have a fresh start on Corode and make things difficult for the other team. If we play our best Valorant, we can win this.
Absolutely. That's exactly what you want to see from a team of this caliber too, is just have that understanding with one another that it's
Hmm.
okay to make some mistakes, but we need to try and fix those mistakes as quickly as we possibly can. The rounds just will keep on slipping away if they're not careful. But for the members of Gangan Galaxy here, don't really know what else they could be doing on the server if they're not careful about it. Or Cobb in a bit more of an isolated spot here if Knight Rider. He does find the opener. Already, he's trying to make an instant run for it, almost immediately booking it out of here. He's gonna need to try to be careful about this one, as Mighty and Scar just shuts out two players almost immediately. Good push on the opposite side of B main to try and be aggressive, to stop them from getting any form of free space. They would have to pay for it with their own lives if they wanted to do something like that. Mighty was the first line of contact, so he is low on HP because of it. But for the members of 4 Cop, they have a lot of ground to cover if they want to go in for a side plan.
Yeah. Gorang, he knows the position, misses the first right leg, but then he recovers well. Again misses the right leg, misses the second one, and connects on the fourth. Gorang manages well, and he gets the fourth. Actually, the third one. Bad on that. 3 kills to start with for Gorang. And if a player like him is being able to recover, there's something wrong, of course, with 4 Cops, right? They are also missing the shots and able to control the way they were, of course, on bind. We have so much hyped bind now. I think only they are to be blamed, right? Aggressive right now, because they have only set the standards high and they are not meeting, and we are getting disappointed so much that we are not able to see that 4 Cops and not the aim, neither the kind of execution. So we feel that we are being kept away from something amazing, right? Okay, Mighty has.
See where they push for this one too. Rollins, he's gonna be able to find one though. Scar was a little bit too overly aggressive there. Again, caught on for these openers as Mighty in a bit of a tough spot. He's gonna get caught out in towards the open. Mighty, a bit too risky for duels like this. He gave away his life and a possible weapon as well to the hands of 4 Cobb here. But Knight Rider, with an outlaw in hand, still will be up and dangerous here. Armed to the teeth and now ready to pounce. It's going to be wrong in for the backstab. He's going to be able to find 2, instantly putting a stop and a damper to their plans. Headhunter in hand, but Knight Rider doesn't pull it out like that. But Casper now looks for the opportunity and the chance to keep this ball rolling. As Casper does find 1 at the bare minimum. Did get a weapon upgrade in her hands to just take this 1v2 a little bit better. But even then, Spike nowhere close to her. And for Gangan Galaxy, this is just about holding on for as long as they possibly can. Time is not her friend. And 4 Cobb, they're going to lose this round to the clock if Casper doesn't pick up the pace.
And they're just running back. Casper, I think she... Oh, wait. I think she thought she can rotate from there. That is why there was a tap on the head, right? He has messed up the timing, of course. And will now have to save this weaponry. Okay, would not get that losing bonus, of course, which is what was required. Now they will have the full buy round coming in. Gun and Galaxy on their bonus buy. How will they want to play this? Specifically, I'm loving the way. I mean, did love the setups, right? You know, with these deadlock sensors, sonic sensors, and the chamber trademark, you can obviously layer your setups. Specifically in a map like Corode, where mid control is kind of everything. It's most likely want to fight mid. 9 out of 10 times. Look at Mighty, got stuck on the razor vine there. Still the movements coming in, but the Viper wall has been causing a lot of problems though. Because of which, I think 4KOB has been able to move so freely through mid now. Scar is walking in. Is that... No, that's not Scar. That's the 4KOB Viper, my bad on that. He's holding a corner. Mighty can be caught off guard. Gorang, look at Gorang. The B-link is wide open. Now, the relay ball, he literally sat between those two, but Mighty finds the timing. Makes a heroic entry like Spider-Man and sits in that position. Everybody has copied as a kid, but then 4KOB in a spot of Bother also aggressive.
This is one of those impossible situations that you just don't want to be in. Gorang's going to be able to shut down one more onto his base of Max. They're falling like dominoes here, ladies and gentlemen. They are showing that they can bleed if they are not careful. The members of 4KOB nearly turning this one back, but the spike delivered into the waiting arms of the opposition. Skangan Galaxy, they're just holding on to the close quarters proximity. These fights not in their favor whatsoever as Gorang now looking for the duel. That's the chance to just shut down Casper, not really allow her to hold onto this weapon, but they're able to survive. 3-0 now for this team. This is exactly what you want to see from a superstar level team of their caliber. Corode is their playground. In every single round that passes on by for Cobb, they need to just figure out on what's going wrong for them. These mistakes are compounding, and at one point, they'll completely fall apart.
Oh, Mighty finds love, bad love. Oh no, he's not having the best of the games. Once again, on that Viper, he struggles. Aggressive. This is a man on his day can make any good team regret. And this isn't the game, at least. Would not say the day, because he had his moments on Bind and he could manage to be the MVP there. But now, because of that Viper being taken out, the movement on the mid has been stopped. Now the round, the side entry is looking so difficult with only Omen there. They haven't really made any fast executes is what I mean, right, for KOB. They have fought on mid, but those fast entries where, you know, you see a support, a flash coming in from the Omen, and the Haunt there, and the Prowler being used, there can be a fast movement coming in from this team, and maybe they can test and try those. But Genola finds Maxo there, Casper there for the trade. I mean, there's something with her aim, right? Can be pretty annoying for any team. You're unable to win those 1v1s. She's constantly punishing you if you're trying to push her at least. The real goal being placed.
Oh
Mighty comes
my
in with the
God,
goal
Mighty!
as well. Goodness me. It pushes them
Rock
on
on,
the
Mighty.
grinder. Oh my God, that is how Mighty does it.
Give me that instant replay. Good God, this is the Acer Predator League for you, ladies and gentlemen. This is what the players are capable of. 1, 2, 3. Spray transfer, Demon Mighty. Give this man the props for that one. Because this is what you want to see. And make sure to check out our Instagram on @theesports club, ladies and gentlemen, because that is going to go on the highlight reel for 100% guarantee. As Mighty stealing the show for the map number 3. As this team's dynamic has taken a complete another shift. One by one, they keep on getting these players falling from inside of the smoke as well. For Cobb, yet to find an answer, yet to find the opportunity to do anything to turn this one around. Knight Rider all the way for a flank on the opposite side of the map. Casper still able to find these kills. Her aim working wonders in so many of these rounds. Nearly got the second kill as well there. Mighty would have fallen, but the spray connects. 5-0. These rounds, they're not even close because Casper seemingly is the only one to keep up with the players of Gang Gang Galaxy.
Look at the scenario. This is the third map. This is the decider. And also, for a fact that this is a lower bracket game, Gun Galaxy is just running away with it. 4KOB are unable to figure what can be done in their favor. Looks like they are stuck in a shell. The Vice and the Chamber has always the Vice and the Viper has always known to be a pretty strong two agents on the side D. When the swap comes in, of course, you can already see Scar how he is holding out this position. Oh no. Okay, interestingly, he finds one position. Denied though, the Steel Garden being committed, because of which the position is not there. The gun isn't there. Daystar, he still gets two. Knight Rider and Gorang commits. Casper is coming in, running in. Only one man with the operator. Knight Rider still survives. Casper, because she didn't have the gun, she couldn't trade him. Now Knight Rider has a chance. He'll try coming towards B Tower. He'll rotate from the spawn, the attacker's CT area. His position will be expected. He has the Tour de Force, but then of course he wouldn't want to use that. Nobody's playing in these corners. Knight Rider, he doesn't have the Deagle with him as well to help him. Oh, he misses the first shot. He misses the first shot. Now it's going to be difficult. He doesn't have the time. That's going to be difficult. The arc rolls just makes things more difficult for him. Uses that one bullet though. D1 Rollins. And then when I said that Gun Galaxy is running away with the game, 4KOB pulls one round in their favor. With a good execution with that Steel Garden coming in. So the ultimate was finally put to its best usage.
I need to see where they're gonna go next now with this. Especially with the big ultimate already being invested, that Steel Garden was a very important pickup for them. Just as the Steel Garden's going to be online for their side, Mighty's going to be able to find that opener as well almost immediately. Spam through the box. It's going to be A-Star that takes a backseat. This entry is not going to be as easy for them anymore now, is it? Bad Love is going to be able to find two almost immediately. Good shots coming in from his end as they're able to turn this one back, but Mighty up and running for these fights. He is an absolute demon. Mighty, when he's on a particular angle, it's so difficult to try and kill him. And he's doing these one taps with a Phantom in his hands, not even a Vandal. Nothing can base him. No 140s to be hit because Mighty, he is still gonna be a little bit of a dangerous one, but even then, up against Rollins, it's not gonna be as easy. As Scar tries to find the kill, but Casper comes in from the side to save his buddy Max. It's 5-2 now as Gan Galaxy, round after round, they are really showing a couple of big mistakes here and there as their team is just taking these engagements a little bit too fast for their own good. And for Cobb, they're punishing them out purely on the basis of positioning.
Slowly, they have pulled 2 rounds back. The 8th round is about to start. They have 3 ultimates for KOB from the shadows, Viper's Pit and the overdrive. Okay, Knight Rider shuts the overdrive there, and he wanted more. Bit too greedy. Love catches him off guard. The snake bite will mean Ginola has to come forward. Ginola managed to survive. Mighty is still there, and as long he is there, the area is safe for him. The Prowler. That movement will come in or not. Ginola with that cost. With a classic, he finds one. But he got stuck in the razor vine though. OKOB. Oh, Ginola. Just better, but then Bad Love finds two of his own. Scar from the backlines is coming in for a backstab. The Viper Spade being committed. Okay, he TP'd in a no man's land, but he has denied the spike plant.
He has no idea. He
Scar
has no
is just
idea.
figuring out exactly. Bad Love is trying to still figure out where the player is, but Casper finds Scar. Deadlock is out of the picture. Bad Love gets the third one, and also with that he converts the round for his team. Third round in the kitty. Now 4 KOB with the 3 consecutive rounders. And pull things right back. I mean, Nitro shouldn't have peaked again. Should have known. I mean, as an opera, of course, you will always see these kind of bold moves, but sometimes, you know, it's questionable as well. Specifically the situation and the scenario your team is in right now, because if you are the first pick in your team and the trade comes in, it becomes much more easier for a team like 4KOB to make entry, because you are the chamber, you are holding that yard area. Anyways, a fast lane. Mighty has sneaked in towards the corner. He had managed. Oh, okay. He spots one more, uses the relay ball to his advantage. Stuck. Goodness me, Bad Love. He slaps Mighty and stops his movement. Knight Rider! He recovers well onto Bad Love. Numbers game has been equalized by A-Star there. Towards side B. Through Link. The deadlock is present. And behind him is Knight Rider. Spike has not gone down yet. Off to deny. Seas makes things slower. Knight Rider. Oh, he didn't go inside this. Odin, the Allfather is out, as you say. Okay, the spam's coming in. D1 Rollins finds the better of the player, but Scar and Ginola. It's both of them. Only one, D1 Rollins. Spike plant for him. The position is not expected. The spike is half defused, but Ginola with that Allfather, of course, spams and converts. D1 Rollins and, of course, will retrieve the operator as well. Sixth round for Gungun Galaxy.
These rounds are really just rolling across our screen now, isn't it? One after the other, these kind of shots and these kind of plays will always keep on connecting for them. But Bad Love, this guy is always a consistent performer on so many of these rounds. It just comes down to him finding that perfect opportunity to do so. Another round going in the favors of Gangan Galaxy here. 6-3 on the scorecards for them, but they cannot get too complacent in the positions that they are given. They still need to be ready to go in for these proactive plays to make it better, to make it a lot more systematic. Scar once again went in for a bit of a jump spot here. He wanted information, he already found it. Make an instant run around play. Don't really make a lot of noise here because you need to be careful. A-Star though, seemingly fast for the rush, is going to be able to find out the first initial opener. And it's going to be go wrong. Code needs to try and work his way up here. He needs to get up to that heaven sideline and try to get that kill over towards one here. A-Star already catches him out in towards the open. They do fall. Bad Love with another one towards the mid side. The Lurks just working wonders for them as Gangan Galaxy now need to try and get a possible breakthrough for their own. But honestly speaking, they don't really have any form of utility to try and do it. And Knight Rider, he has an op in his hands, making this retake almost nigh impossible.
Okay, Mighty swaps his Bucky, opts for a Vandal. Knight Rider, he has the operator, but then it's not going to be easy. I think they should just save the round. They don't have the time. Mighty, he wants to commit, he gets one. There's a close one. Oh, Knight Rider is just going for a save. We'll find Bad Love in process. Would he be allowed? He misses the shot.
No!
Max connects. It's the same strategy. You miss, I hit. And the fourth round comes in for 4KOB.
The Headhunter. I don't know. This is like a new tech, right? If you play Chamber a lot, you miss a shot with your operator, you instantly pull out the Headhunter. But Knight Rider, he just doesn't do that. He had 3 bullets. Maybe those 3 bullets would have gotten that kill, but he tried to run away instead. Tough position, tough calls, right? But Come on, pull out that headhunter right after you use it.
Feels like
Operator
Chamber
shot.
is being underutilized, right? If you're not pulling out that
Yeah.
headhunter, the true potential is what we want to see. We know that Knight Rider is better than that. With a 6-4 scoreline, we might see a 6-6 half, which is something 4KOB will be looking at. Because if we see a 6-6 half, I would want to back 4KOB. Because with this map, just helping that Viper, you know, again, the way 4KOB has been using their controller usage, we saw it on Bind with that Brimstone and, of course, that Omen gameplay there. So yeah, this is going to be interesting. And on the other end, the other team would want the rest 2 rounds because they need that momentum. And if Mighty is not given that momentum and that flow, that is something which is going to be pretty concerning. Um, See, Corode is a defender favoring map. That being said, those rounds still needs to be converted on the attacker's half. When you go in, the game will resume, of course, the technical timeout being sorted over there. Then what do you think the discussions would be going on in both the camps right now? Because I think that this game can be anybody's right now.
We gotta need to see where they're gonna go with this. For now, though, 64 on the scorecards here already. The members of 4 Cub now looking to be the ones to take the sentry for themselves. Good overall positioning, though, for this initial fight. But even then, it's not going to be as simple as you would expect it. Shots already being fired out. They're missing out on a couple of this. The weapons not really looking that strong for them. Knight Rider with a 2-4 is able to find one. Mighty with the secondary as well. He's going to be able to find a bit of a pickup. Stronger weapons to his name, but still Mighty needs to go in for a kill. He doesn't get it. Instead, it's going to be Casper who shuts him down over from the side. This has all been causing problems. The Nightfall now being given out. The last 2 members trying to pick up those pieces. One player over to the opposite side already. He can instantly pop out of this smoke at any second. They need to be careful on what to expect. But now they need to try and bring this one back. Good overall shots here being done out by them, as it's all up to Knight Rider. Nothing really much that you can do. Casper immediately brings him back down. 6-5 as Gang Galaxy. They take this Gang Galaxy. They lose out on another round, yes, but 4 Comp, they're getting closer and closer to getting to that equalizer. That last round, of course, was an equal round coming out from them, but that doesn't mean that it's all but over for them here. Because 4 Comp, as a team, they've showcased that, yeah, they can really come on back in towards the game, but maybe their team is just far superior when it comes down to their defensive side pushes.
That is for sure aggressive. And I think, as I said, if there's a 6-6 scoreline coming up, I would want to back 4KOB for the win. But then, this Valorant, man, the Gravnet being there, Leo and Rollins getting stuck. Car just swaps onto a Vandal. Steel Garden being committed, they won't have their primary weaponry for you to use. Will have to use pistols. Deadlock connects that onto that ultimate Scar over there. A-Star being taken out of the game. 4KOB has lost the numbers advantage. 3 players there only. With no Omen Dark Cover there. I mean, Max gets one, but then the trade game is on, at least in this round, for Gun Galaxy. They try to convert one, and the Casper is still alive. Only for one. A 7-5 swap comes in. I won't say it's the worst for 4KOB. I would say they have done their part on their defenders half. Now the swap will come in and they will shift down to the most comfortable half of this map, where actually I feel they shine a lot. Gun Galaxy on their attacker's side, can they manage to pull things up? Their attack is good though. Mighty is actually gonna hold the key. If he is been able to if he's shut down, then a lot of pressure would be on Knight Rider, and that is something I would want to see that if he can handle the pressure, because you mentioned a point and you highlighted the fact that he has not always been the consistent player, right? And that is something has always been the problem with him. So this is something which Gun Galaxy can face a problem with. There's a technical timeout over there taken by Gun Galaxy though. But then there's no technical issues going on, and checking out the Aspire Go, the multitask like a prodigy with the Aspire Go 14 PC Slim, powerful and ready for every idea. It is ideal for multitaskers, makers, and minds in motion. With its AI powered performance, it's the laptop that thinks fast as you do. I mean, just tap on the links in the description. Again, you can, win a sling bag as well, because if you are trying to get a Swift series, there's an offer going on where you get a sling bag, Acer sling bag free. And if you're getting a Predator laptop or a Helios purchase, you get a monitor, gaming monitor free. So that is something you would want to latch onto, right?
Absolutely. Those Predator laptops have a 204 play. To get an extra monitor on top of that one, it will increase your workflow further. Plus, in addition to not just giving you that best of performance, we're going to be looking after your bank account as well and making sure that your wallet stays a little bit happy after you make that purchase with a cashback of up to 5,000 INR and, of course, an instant bank discount of up to 15,000 INR. Make sure to check out all the links down in the description for that one, ladies and gentlemen, as this game of Corode is now moving on to the second half. Gangan Galaxy are not going to have a lot of technical difficulties. We're going to be able to jump on back into the game almost immediately. But this fifth round will now carry a lot of weight on whether or not the members of 4COP are really going to be able to mount a comeback here to get to that 9-5 scoreline. If they're allowed to do something like this, Gangan Galaxy could be turning up the heat here. They need to be careful in the way that they expect these fights to go through. For now, 4COP team, they have a tendency of making some mistakes if they're not careful, but even then, A-Star's position, the Wiser, never mind, Mighty, he missed out on those 3 kills. He's gonna get caught off because of it. The Trump in for either 4COP, they no longer are in the man advantage anymore. Gangan Galaxy, they take a 3v2 now with the A side right for the picking. The plan's just about to go down. Scar's good for another one. Get shut ready. All up to Casper. Spots out one of the players. Does get the kill, but immediately gets shut out as well. Ganola. These trades are where it is at. Gangan Galaxy on this 8-5 are looking to turn it into a 9-5 with the buys.
Yeah, true. This is something where, things get pretty serious, right? The scoreline says 8-5. Most probably Gun Galaxy would hit the double-digit marker first. And if they hit the double-digit marker first, the panics would start kicking in onto 4 KOB. And that is something which is not their strength. They have not been able to make that comeback yet. Because we saw on Lotus, Gun Galaxy did manage to make a comeback on Bind by getting a lot of rounds though from a 11-1 swap. Then look at A-Star, he's expected. Casper did manage to get Night Rider though, but oh, Max
Nice.
comes from stairs and converts one. Yard from the yard area. Control has been taken. Max has been taken out. There's Brawler. There's a Paranoia to get that control. A side is up for grabs. Players coming from B-Link now. The 2 members, the Viper and the Vice, which is an ideal composition, of course, to play on that side. But then, if you're not able to control the mid-fight, this is something which is going to be concerning. But, as expected, they did not have the weapon reach to pull that surprise or the moves coming in. But Love finds Gorang. Casper being taken out. This is a 2v2. Looks doable. Love! Not expect Ginola to be so close. With only Casper left. That is, I think, D1 Rollins. Oh, that is D1 Rollins. Doesn't have the HP also. Scar waiting for him to come. He will come in once again. Moving his knife. This guy has a different kind of obsession with that knife, man. Scar, of course, he dives through the spike, but then something with that knife and that man not having his gun. Oh, aggressive. This game
I mean,
is so
Hakuna Matata
insane.
is the thing
Yeah,
I have
true.
to say. Maybe the knife is just really pretty. Come on. It's the new champion's knife. And I really want it as well. I would be staring at it if I had it too. But maybe you can buy it for me, Oro, as a birthday gift. Because my birthday is like very close.
When is it?
Okay, now he just left the chat as soon as I said he needs.
When is it? No. I
bro.
did ask the question. When is it? Tell me, when is it?
It's what this match is gonna. I'll fill you in just a bit as soon as this round is over, ladies and gentlemen. We can tell the members of Gang Galaxy, even with the weaker weapons, they're just running everything down. The C1 Rollins already. He's up close and personal for this fight. He can't really stop the plan from going on out. Scar, perfect positioning for that deadlock wall as well. Just being able to find those initial catches. Ganola, perfect for the first initial kill. Swings across. It's going to be Scar with the next one. And now one by one, they do fall, but never mind. Casper, he's turning this one back. Caught by the grab net. It instantly falls down. There's nothing that they can do. As the members of Gan Galaxy, they've taken the 10-5 on the scorecards. And going back to the question, my birthday is on the 23rd of this month, so I'm going to be turning into an ancient man soon.
Ancient man, I mean, don't be so rude on yourself. Don't go be so harsh on yourself. See, you can definitely get that, knife, but make sure that you have to be a player like D1 Rollins first. Aggressive. Promise me if you can you be a player like that?
Hey, with this
it isn't hard, right?
Game.
It isn't hard. It isn't hard, right? You just need to swing your knife in front of your enemy. You anyways do, right?
Oh, never mind. He's maybe swinging this time around in front of the opposition instead. Good shot coming in from D1 Rollins here. That's Casper now stepping up to the table. Wrong instantly with the teleport. It's going to be able to find an off angle over onto one. They do fall like dominoes here, one after the other. Gang Galaxy really turning up the heat. They've taken the board, ladies and gentlemen. And speaking of birthdays, if you want to get anyone a birthday present as well, ladies and gentlemen, make sure to check out the links down below in the description. If they are looking to get themselves a really powerful laptop for on-the-go performance, make sure to check out the links down below in the description because we have a bunch of offers for you for particular select laptops as well. The Swift Lite 14 AI is a smarter tech, sleeker design, and a really powerful laptop to boot. Meet the Swift Lite 14 AI PC, your ultra light, ultra fast AI sidekick. Fire up dedicated co-pilot key and built-in intelligence handle the heavy and let the intelligence handle the heavy lifting with a 1.1 kg metal body, a vibrant OLED display, and a super slim 15.9mm profile. This PC is built to think fast, look sharp, and move even faster. If you're looking for something like this as a present for your significant other or even for your friends, make sure to check that one out because now members of A-Star, they're checking out the players that's waiting for them on the outskirts of B. As through the smoke, they do get the kills. The Sporkov, they still have some signs of life left in them.
Okay, Knight Rider. Kills A-Star. Max finds Scar though. Knight Rider the only player surviving. Tries to jump peek over there. Casper gets caught off. The Prowler. Will he be caught though? Oh, again a jump spot being used. The Prowler being used there. And the corners. He has the timing to recover, but the man from the back lines catches him off guard. It's again D1 Rollins. The man. We call him the Night Man. All fun and jokes. But then, in all seriousness, this is the 11th round, of course, for Gun Galaxy. But the 6th round finally comes in favor of 4KOB. Can they make a comeback with a 5 rounds buffer? So close yet so far. Seems like this is gonna be their moment. If they have to make a comeback, it has to be right now. Otherwise, they won't get that chance or won't be given the chance. Oh no, the spam is there. Max, my friend, is caught off guard by Ginola. Knight Rider, in the middle of nowhere. He is walking through the fast lane of the player. Coming in.
To the force and he's the entry.
I don't know, why would you, I mean, okay, you want to take a duel, but with that operator, you're so easy to be spotted. Ewan Rollins is position spotted, but go wrong there. Ewan Rollins is invincible at this point of time. He's just creating so much value. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa! What is going wrong with this team right now? Ewan Rollins is present everywhere. It's a 4K for him in this round. Yeah, you can shake that Nike right now. You earned it. He was everywhere in the map, right? He's changing his position, repositioning himself, and also connecting his shots. He also managed to save from the shadows. So, kudos to him that he can use it in this one.
I need to see where they're gonna go from here on out for this one. For now, though, 11-7 of the scorecards already as 4-cob. They've still yet to really give up on this particular game, as shots that they're trying to go for is still connecting, so not the end of the world for them. They do have a bit more of a saving grace that they can pay for. Another technical pause now being taken, as you can tell from the scorecards as well, ladies and gentlemen, that both of these teams, they're very evenly matched in the way that they're taking so many of these fights, where it's very apparent that Gangan Galaxy, all of their members are able to pull their weight, but some of the superstar level performances from players such as Casper, it's just really putting them down in more ways than one. Even in that last map, Casper really did step up onto the plate here, being an anchor for the team and just being someone that they can rely on to get those key impact frags whenever it is a requirement for them. 4-cob, they've yet to give up on any of these rounds, and Knight Rider, though, never mind. He catches out A-Star, was a bit too aggressive. Does fall flat because of it. Mighty now trying to take a fight, but immediately gets spammed on through. D1 Rollins still able to hold, change things back for their team. Smacks now steps on the table. The spam's good enough to deal with that damage. Yeah, Ganola's the one who takes the hit for, but a calm before the storm. They're still eyeing this possibly.
Looks like the scoreline is 11-7 for sure, aggressive. But now, at this very moment, if it's Gangan Galaxy from here, they would need to understand the fact that losing out on the crucial rounds can create a big impact on the result of this match. And again, I would want to repeat myself by saying this is a lower bracket game going on currently. Both the teams have won their opponent's map pick. T1 Rollins over there gets the pick onto Ginola. He's trying to make a move towards B main. Scar, his position! He couldn't take down Love though! Knight Rider! No, Scar! Oh, this is Gaurang, my bad on that, but Gaurang comes in and takes down Love. You will have the time to get the plant in. He doesn't have the HP. Will he find the timing on Casper? Is the question. He uses his dark cover. He leaves that positioning. That is going to be pretty crucial. He's expected to play inside the smoke. He TP's out. The plant is not for him. He's only planted it himself, of course. He has a plan going in. He thinks that, but his position is expected because of the TP. Oh, okay. Casper's position is known. Her position is known, but she can defuse it sitting behind the boxes. No, no, it isn't your plan, my friend. You only planted a spike and you TP'd, thinking too much. And the situation did not help you. The scoreline will turn to 11-8, hampering the economy of Gangan Galaxy right now.
This is not a universe that you want to sit in. This is not a place where you want to be at. And they have showcased that they can bleed. The fact that they're bleeding this badly, it's not that good for them now, is it? They need to pressure bandage this wound as quickly as they possibly can. Cauterize it quickly, because Gangan Galaxy, there's too many rounds being lost out here. giving the members of 4 even more of a bigger opportunity to get these big ultimates online for themselves and really turn things back in their favor. This game should have been yours, but it's slipping through their fingers. Each round that passes, you can tell that the team's overall speed has just been put to a grinding halt. D1 Roland's now perfect off angle with the operator in hand to maybe find this kill. Miley's positioning does get revealed, but Knight Rider sadly is the one that gets tagged out instead. He was right behind Mighty as he was trying to go in for the jump spot. Instead, he's gonna be the one to take a backseat. Couldn't really find the kill that he would have wanted. A-Star does find one, gets immediately traded off though in the process. A 1-for-1 coming in for either side, but time not in the hands of Gangan Galaxy here. 40 seconds left on the clock to try and go in for an execute, and they need to choose. Either they want to go towards B or towards A here, because main control is established on both sides, but A is a little bit more of a difficult side to break into unless you have a proper game plan in mind.
Yeah, of course. This is something that's going to be very, very interesting. GrafNet being there. Casper got stuck over there in the corner. The Nightfall being committed, of course, would cause some problems for Team Gangan Galaxy. Lose out on HP. Casper's position is known. She needs to wait. Again, get stuck, but with 1 HP Scar. Can he peek though? No, he can't. Max finds Mighty. He finds Scar as well. Only 2-man left. From the shadows can be used. Ginola is still alive. Ginola finds the second one. Ginola is the lone player. D1 running with it. With that operator, he couldn't get the shot. And Ginola connects the right click onto the man. And finally we see map point and the game point on the third map of Corode in favor of Gangan Galaxy.
They're running away with it here, ladies and gentlemen. They are absolute criminals on this server. Smooth criminals at that. As they're just slipping and sliding forward. Gangan Galaxy one step away from taking this victory, one step away from sending the members of 4 back home, and Mighty with the judge. He's gonna be the one to be the jury and the executioner at the same time. T1 Rollins on the opposite side, waiting for the hit here. Prowler now being utilized. Players already spotted. Knight Rider is going to be the first one to draw blood. The override comes through, and Palpatine is now going to be rushing on forward in towards the server, but Bad Love's not getting ready to give this one up. Guardian in hand immediately shuts down Mighty before the take comes in fully. Casper with that perfect lurk towards the mid side. Still value to be found. Ganola's position completely alone. They have no idea what to expect. Needs to find the kill, but Ganola misses out on the opportunity. Ganola. This was pretty much the final nail in the coffin. If they got that kill, this was all but over. But Garong and Scar still find the equalizer. Garong with the second. They're turning this one on its head, ladies and gentlemen. But still, the last player is alive. It's going to be none other than Mask to try and give this one back. Garong up and ready for the fight. Misses out on the chance here, but still Scar is going to be second in play for it. The grab that they need, and Garong comes in with a fat swing to get that triple kill for the side of Gangan Galaxy. This is the victory that they wanted. This is the victory that they needed. And ladies and gentlemen, they take it for themselves and send the members of 4 back home packing, as they are now still alive for this lower bracket, and their revenge story for victory still reigns supreme.
Absolutely aggressive. I mean, your prediction coming down to be so accurate, with only one map in favor of course, the team there, and the 2 maps being pulled out by Gangan Galaxy. And they pulled it in a fashion where they made a comeback, which actually they started on Bind itself. 4KOB, they looked like a better team on Bind, but other than that, I think it was all over the place. They had players to support, the wins there, but I think they fell by a long way, and they expect a lot of things. And now I understand the fact that why they are in the lower bracket in the first place. Of course, see, I won't say that Gangan Galaxy is the prettiest of the teams out there, but then they actually managed to make less amount of mistakes, because they are actually going to be tested on the next stages, on the next round of matches, when they are going to face Rat Syndicate and a team like SATUL and Asterisk as well, who are now kind of the teams to watch out for, to be apparently in the Acer Predator League 2026 for India qualifiers. With that being said, nothing taken away from Gun Galaxy. They played absolutely well. They made sure the comeback is there, and it came back at a time when it was required the most. Because from here, only one team will manage to get a slot in the Asia Pacific. The Acer Predator League 2026 is going to happen next year.
So they have to make it to that grand final stage first, which will be a LAN, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure to set your dates for the 11th of October, because nothing is going to happen bigger than that throughout this year. I can assure you for that, because Acer Predator, they have it all covered for you guys. They want to give you the best of shows, and make sure to set your calendar dates for that one. If you want more information, make sure to stay tuned here at the Esports Club, because on the 10th, when the semifinal stages come to a close as well, we're going to be giving more more information about that one as well for you guys back at home. Again, I digress. I'm excited to bring you all of this action. I'm excited to say that here for the Acer Predator League India qualifiers, all of these teams, they deserve to be here. It's sad to say that 4Cops have been the ones to get bowed out, but that's kind of how tournaments work, right? You win some and you lose some. And hopefully 4Cop don't take this one to heart. They played phenomenally. Individually, all of these players easily deserve to be here in this tournament. But as a team, you can tell that Gang Galaxy, they put in the hours, they put in the effort to just go that extra mile to take this victory in their favor.
Yeah, true. I mean, I agree completely with you. With that being said, I think we have seen both the lower bracket matches today. One team out there, they have to learn a lot of things from their mistakes, and other one, individually they're brilliant, as you said, and then as a team they need to function well. Need to communicate well, and also need to be dynamic on their agent shifts. Like when Bad Luck, he isn't a player who could bring out his best from that controller role, is what I was actually sad about, because I have seen him play good and his aim game is actually insane, which is why his duelist game is far now. He becomes half the player on a controller, is what I'm trying to say over here. But then Casper is something, a positive note is what 4KOB can take back home. She is, I mean, a menace with her aim. She can, I think, if we put Venka and Casper a match in our hand, right? If I would want to see a 1v1, but then this game is not about those individual fights, right? And not about the aim game. It is about, of course, you need to win those fights, but at the end of the day, Valorant is a team game. It's a 5v5 first-person shooter coming in front of you. If as a team you're not able to function well on the day, you, my friend, will not be able to qualify for the next rounds, which is what has happened here for Team 4KOB.
Yeah, it's just a sad story indeed now, isn't it? But that's just the reality of the situation that you sometimes have to deal with. Sadly, one of these teams have bowed out, but the other one will keep their hopes and dreams alive. Knight Rider probably had the best of performances that we've ever seen coming out from him in quite a long time. And as we jump on down over into the scoreboard, it will be very much apparent. Generally, it's Mighty being the performance maker, right? Mighty and Scar, who was always having those kind of performances consistent through all regard. But Scar, yeah, of course, on Deadlock being an absolute nuisance. You gotta love it when you see it. But Knight Rider, I do believe he has to be that unsung hero for this particular game. There were a lot of key frags that he and only he was able to find because of that operator, and his entire team was able to capitalize on that momentary chaos and really forced members of 4KOB into the corner.
Yeah. Gun Galaxy, and specifically Scar on that Deadlock, he was too good on the day against SATUL, if I am not wrong, right? Aggressive. And today again on that Deadlock, he just manages to deny the site constantly. I mean, see, Deadlock is an agent, of course. People can debate on the fact that that's a sentinel, and of course, you can do a lot of things, and sometimes there are limitations with that agent, that the sensors, and also with that ultimate there. But With that being said, let's move ahead and see who is the most valuable player of the last map, and it is D1 Rollins. Not in their favor though, but then he played really well. The knife comes up on the screen and made his way with 18 kills, and an average combat score we are seeing right now is 247.0, and the kills per round is 1, so he has managed to put in some real damage. But if he would have been on the winning side, he would have been much happier. But then still, these are the positive, which is, I think, 4KOB is going to take home.
Absolutely. For the members of 4KOB, just take these stats as a grain of salt, because all of you did perform well, especially from the side of Casper as well. Had a consistent performance from the start up till the very end there, but they really do need to work on these much more difficult compositions that they do generally like to play, because I think having a bit more of a comfortable setup could have done so much more wonders for them. But I mean, you can't split hairs when it's already over, right?
Yeah.
There's no use crying over spilled milk here, because their team is already out. And maybe in the future, as we do have more tournaments for you guys at the Esports Club, ladies and gentlemen, so make sure to hit the like, hit the subscribe, and also hit the notification bell. And of course, follow us on our social media pages to give yourself a little bit more better understanding of what we are going to be doing in the future. So there's going to be a lot more tournaments to be had. But for today and for now, ladies and gentlemen, that's all that we have for you for tonight. Thank you for stopping on by for both VO3s. And honestly, both of them were absolute bangers. But for now, it's going to be your boy Aggressive with Oro signing on off. And we're going to be catching you tomorrow with a lot more action for the Acer Predator League 2026 India Qualifiers. Good night and happy gaming, everyone.
The all-new Acer Aspire Lite with up to 13th Gen Intel Core i7 processor. Enjoy sharp visuals on a full HD display with a flexible 180-degree hinge. Lightweight at just 1.59 kilograms. Powerful, flexible, and ready to go. The Acer Aspire Lite with up to 13th Gen Intel Core i7 processor and a full HD display. Lightweight at just 1.59 kilograms. It's powerful, flexible, and ready to go.
Acer Iconia. Fast tweet, cool moves, step a pick, we groove, wipe slit, post quick, friends laughing, we click. Follow me, let's wipe and roll. Follow me with Acer and control. Follow me, let's wipe and roll. Follow me with Acer and control. Follow me, it's the Acer show. Follow me, it's the Acer show. Follow me, it's the Acer show. Follow me wherever we go. Follow me wherever we go. Vibes like those big friends laughing, we click. Follow me, follow me, go. Follow me, follow me, go. Acer Iconia. Follow me. Acer Iconia. Follow me. Acer Iconia.
Sleek with Neo, power in hand, watch it go. AI smart runs the show. Style and speed, you already know. Lightweight game, heavy on mic. Work off late, it's just right. Color that pop, style and glow. Swift Neo, oh, that's how we roll. Click, sleek, swift Neo, power in hand, watch it go. AI smart runs the show. Style and speed, you already know. Swift Neo,
You feel me?
lightweight game, heavy on mic. Work out play, it's just right. Color that pop, style and glow. Swift Neo, oh. Let it lead, let it grow. Turn it with every tap and glow. Swift Neo, that's how we roll.
On set, vibes up, you feel me? Swift Neo.